All right. I saw this. Well, I heard this question. I'm gonna start off with a icebreaker question, real quick. Mona ain't here, so I'm not gonna do her icebreaker. But I saw this on one of the podcasts I be listening to, and one of the girls said this, and I was like, that's interesting. I could kind of tie this into the communication thing. So, the question before I put it up there is, if you're taught as a young girl, if he's mean to you, he likes you, and then where does that go when we grow up? Like, where does that change come in, or do we just keep on thinking like that? So I'm gonna put it across the bottom. Y'all can read it, and I want people's thoughts because I think that was a very like I was like that's a different perspective to look at it, bro. Because we know, bro, like the girl that's hitting you, bro, like she the one that like you when you a jit. You know what I'm saying? So where does that go when they get older? Like, how do they mold that? Oh, I like you, but you can't hit a grown up. You know what I'm saying? So how do they move that communication style different? You feel me? No, they can't hit you no more, so they got to do what? So I think that's the question I'm trying to ask. Don't all
Huh.
jump in at once.
I think I think we gotta ask ourselves, why do we even teach or say that to kids? Like, oh, he just messing with you because he like you. Because I've heard that, and I'm sure other people on this call have heard that as well. But like, why is that the determining factor if someone likes you? Because I do think that a lot of people misconstrue toxic behavior for love because they don't have no understanding of what love looks like. So if you're hearing, or if they mean to you, they like you and all that growing up, that turns into, oh, this toxic behavior means they love me. Because there's some women that will actually try to make a man jealous because to them, the more jealous he is, the more he loves me or cares about me. And if he's not reacting to certain things I do or say, it's because he don't love me or care about me. So I do think like a lot of people have this misconstrued understanding of what love looks like, and sometimes it does get confused with toxicity. But I think the better question is like, why do we do that?
I think I was just trying to find out what is it molding to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the girl hitting
Oh, I
you,
went off
like, what is it
topic.
changing? Hmm?
I said,
No,
oh,
you
I
can
went
go.
all the way off
No, you can
topic.
go off topic. You brought some added depth to it. But I'm thinking, okay, you brought the depth to it to where, okay, being like, why do we even think that toxic stuff is the like? I'm just trying to figure out first of all, what is it? Because it has to change into something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I
just
think
gonna
it
get
changes
worse.
into toxicity. I think it changes into people being mistreated and mistaking it for love. Because when we were younger, you this mistreatment was, oh, they like you. That's why they behave like that towards you. So I think when we get older, we mistake it. We continue to mistake it for love. Not everybody, of course. I never thought that shit was cool, but there are people out there that that's their idea of love.
Yeah. I would say, I know this is the answer that most people don't like, is I would say it depends. I feel like as a youth, you don't really know how to express I like or I love this girl. And you don't really know like how to, you know, if you depend on how you grow up in your family situation, you probably even know how to like take care of a girl. So what you do is you looking at how you play with your siblings, how you play with your cousins. You going to school, you see a girl that you like that's making you feel kind of strange. You thinking you could play with her the way you play with them, and you showing her this extra attention. But you a kid, you don't know what like and love is, so you just being aggressive probably by mistake. And they like, yo, I could as an adult, you looking at it, you like, hey girl, don't worry about that. He just like you because like he don't like he a kid. He just like you. Like don't worry about it. He likes you. That's why he's acting like that. And as you grow up and mature, to answer your question, I think some men they learn how to express themselves and they learn how to okay, I got to be like this. I got to be like that. So they adjust. They're like, okay, when I like a girl, these are the kinds of things I should be doing. And then some men who still don't learn how to do it, it become toxic, and they end up being the ones that try to be controlling, manipulative, trying to like, oh, you can't go out. Like I'm locking down your phone. I'm beating on you. So I think it just depends. Some of them probably don't grow out of it, and it gets to this toxic phase. And some of it just, hey, I'm a man now. I know how to treat a woman. I learned, and when I like somebody, I'm gonna approach it. with some flowers and some chocolates. I think.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything on it?
I witnessed firsthand somebody. Never mind. It was a never mind.
Nope. I'm intrigued now. Come on now. Come on. You ain't been out here in a while. You owe us something good, Frog.
No, I ain't got nothing, man. But there was a lot of beatings going on. Like I used to witness some of that growing up.
I feel like I already know what he's talking about. So you can hold back, bro. Hold back. Hold your horse. Okay?
All right.
Hold your horse. We don't need to go down that lane.
All right, we won't.
Because that was the example I was going to use. Well, you can say it, Franz, because I was going to share that same example. I just wasn't going to say no names. Because that's the perfect example of it, where as a kid, this person used to try to beat the heck out of me in middle school, trip me, do all kind of stuff, pull my hair. I ain't never been called ugly so much in my life until I met this little boy, period. And then eventually that turned into something else. But even as I think as an adult, people, I feel like men still behave like that, but those are the ones who be beating on girls. You know, they beat them and then they tell them, bro, I only do this because I love you, or I just don't know how to show that I love you, stuff like that. So I think even as we grow, people are still struggling with it. That's how you end up with a lot of women who are in toxic relationships, because she just believes, you know, this is just how I was taught. So this is, you know, him slipping up, him cheating on me, him slapping me around a few times, him getting somebody else pregnant. I'm still going to ride for him. I'm a ride or die, this, that, and four. So maybe that's my answer. It turns into this whole ride or die mentality that some women have, where it's like, I got to stick with him because I've been with him for so long. And because I was taught that what he is doing is just love. It's just his form of love.
I'm sorry, guys. Chris Limousine. First time listening, long time listener, first time caller. I just joined in, so I don't know what the main topic is, so I didn't want to interrupt, but I just want to know what we're talking about so I know what to answer or whatever's going on. So what's the topic right now?
I'm about to throw it up back up real quick. Give me a second.
Okay, bro. Because my laptop is not working for some reason. I don't know. So I had to jump on my phone.
What up, Limo?
Right. Are you gonna be able to see it from the phone? If I scroll across the bottom?
No, I don't know right now. Hold on. Let me see.
All right. So
I think so.
You see this right here?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So the question is, if you taught as a young girl, if he's mean to you, he likes you, where does that go when you grow up? Like, how does it change? What's the, like, oh, he's mean to me, so he like me, or if I'm mean to him, I like him. So where does that change? When you get older, you feel me? Do you use it as, okay, mean you still talk shit about the person that you like, or you like, does it change into something positive, stay something negative? So that's pretty much what the question is so far.
Okay, but
I agree with because what you said, Cassandra. But I'll let someone else speak. Sorry.
Summarize Cassandra though. She's basically saying like it turns into something toxic. They turn into like the women beaters. Oh, the ride or dies. The ride or dies.
I think
the girls turn into the ride or dies, and then the dudes is like the women beaters, I guess.
Or you've ever seen vice versa, where the woman is the one who be beating the heck out of him, and he's the one who just ride with her? You guys never seen a man get beat by a woman?
I think girls are more aggressive than niggas, but you feel me? That's a whole different story.
I think people just love how they know what they witnessed in their life a lot of the time. So that's why you have those patterns and behaviors.
That's true.
I concur. I would say that like sometimes when it comes with love and like I was saying that when it comes to, I don't know the terminology per se, but I just know that sometimes when you equate love to like abuse because you was abused as a child or this and the third. I realize sometimes the younger child, if they see something being abused or this and the third, they cause harm to other kids. And it's because they seem like, okay, well, I know that's my mom, that's my dad. I know she love her, this and the third. They don't really truly understand what's going on, but they equate that to love. And then I've seen, I heard, and I'm trying to learn more. But I can say that I do think that most kids sometimes, for the most part, gonna react the way they react based on um, what they see and what they learned from
But
their
what?
parents.
But Fritz, what does it turn into when they become an adult?
In your opinion.
But once again, my, that's not my argument. You're right. What it becomes into, it's abuse. At the end of the day, it is abuse. It is that and the third. But all I'm saying is, from what I have learned thus far, I realize there are some things that come. Like, you know how they say, like, is it nature versus
Nurture.
nurture? Yeah. And sometimes I think there's been times it's there. Like, you kind of know what the fuck is going on. Shit happens. Like, you watching this and this and the third. Is it good for her and health? Like, no, it's not. But I think sometimes, okay, let me say this. So for me, I love because my mom was such a loving person. So when I look at love, good or bad or not, I look at love the way my mom looked at love, because that's how I learned how to love. My mama showed me how to love, and that's how she loved. Even if I didn't agree with how she loved, that's how she loved. So with most kids nowadays, depending what it is, how they learn how to love is how they learn how to love. It might not be good, it might not be stable, it might not be the best, but if that's how they learn how to love, that's just how they learn how to love. And then moving forward on, if that's how I learn how to love, like where it's okay to put hands on my mom because I see yeah. So I'm gonna move forward. So if I was growing up learning, it's okay I can put my hands on my mom because my father and my mom stay together. It didn't look like abuse, even though it was abuse. It didn't look like abuse because my mom still stayed. My father still was there. Um, and moving forward on, it was more like, okay, well, if I hit somebody, it's not that bad of a situation. It's not this up as my mom and dad been married for 40 years, and he put his hands on my way. My mom put his hands on my dad. But is it okay? It's not. But how
So,
they might
so
see it,
you think that the way that they're raised, so if they're raised in like a toxic or abusive environment, when they're older, more than likely they're going to repeat what they saw. Like they're going to continue the cycle.
yes. I'm not scared to say that. I think you will continue this cycle because if that's how you equate love with what love is, then what else do you know that's what love is?
I think it
What about
depends
the
on the person and it depends on the personality, because you can have people, like, you can have siblings raised in the same household, and you have one person that just does the total opposite, that will never raise their hand and abuse a woman because they saw their mother getting abused. And then you can have another sibling that does follow that line because they think that that's what love is. So I think it just depends on the person, because they can go to both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, another point that I was gonna bring up was that too, bro. It was like, what about the people that didn't get raised in no abusive household, but still think, you feel me, dog? They still walking around thinking, okay, Dean, if this person disrespect me or call me out my name, they love me. You feel me, dog? Like it's coming from somewhere, dog. You know what I'm saying? They might not have had the worst childhood or whatever, bro, but like something like I said, I've heard this as a jit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Beam, she like you because she hitting you. You know, like I've heard that as a jit, bro. And we wasn't the worst household kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't that bad around. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's something more deep rooted than that.
I 100% agree with. For example, my mom was abused, and I'm happy that I didn't. And I wish I had my
Cassandra,
dad,
mute.
but
Sorry.
I wish I had my dad, but I'm okay when I have my dad because my mom told me my dad did abuse her, and there's some scars on my mom I could see that she said, your dad did this to me. So I'm the first child from my mom, from my dad. And Fufu's my sibling, but that's after my dad. So from my dad, it's like, I'm happy I don't know my dad, because if I knew my dad, I probably would have been an abuser. Like, I would have looked at women differently because of my dad. So therefore, I look at it like, okay,
Yeah.
I would not be like my father. Because if my father was on that spectrum, that's a spectrum I don't want, because I grew up in a house full of women. So I would not want to be like my father. But then at the same token, I'm playing like, I guess, not devil advocate. I guess I'm playing both sides, because I can sort of kind of see it. Not saying I understand it, but I could kind of see it. Where like, because think about it, if I was raised with my dad, I probably would have been like, well, shit, I could do this, easy money. But I was raised with my mom, and my mom was on that spectrum. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do this.
I
So I don't
still
know.
think. I still think. Oh, were you done with you full stop,
I'm
Prince?
done.
Or you was,
You don't
I'm
like, go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead, go ahead. No, you can't.
I still feel like
All that damn
you
talk.
can.
It should be done.
I
Hold on,
feel
one more.
like
Okay.
you
Complete
could
goodness.
you could not be around a parent and still get some of their tendencies, because it takes two people to make a child, right? So
Yeah.
with the two people making a child, you could not be around them and you still develop their characteristics. Prime example, my father was only around till I was 10, right? I saw my father beat my mom all the time, to the point where I thought I was dreaming and I would repress the memories, right? But after 10, he wasn't around. And I developed anger, the same anger my father had, within like further on in adulthood, and didn't deal with it until I got older and was like, no, you real angry. So this is
That's
something you need to
admirable
deal
that
with.
you realized it, bro.
Yeah, because
I'm
it
the
took
same way.
adulthood to realize that I was angry. But in the same token, based off of what Fritz was saying, I still believe it's choice. Though you may have seen it, you can choose to break a cycle. You can choose to say, you know what? Because even with my mom, I still feel like my mom's choice in men is still iffy. An old girl is 50 something years old. But from what I saw with my father, I made up in my mind. One, I didn't want no Jamaican man. So if that's why now everybody knows, this is why I didn't pick a Jamaican. Because to me, what I saw as Jamaican was my father, a beater. So I didn't want nobody to beat me. So I was like, I'll take anybody as long as he's not Jamaican.
Yeah,
Later on, I realized Haitians beat women, Black Americans beat women, everybody beat women. So it's not just a Jamaican thing. But at my ignorant stage, that's
You
what I
saying it
thought.
wrong, bro. Don't say it like that, bro. You make it sound
No,
like niggas
every
just walking
man
around
beat
whooping girls'
women.
ass,
No,
bro.
no. Every man beat women,
Just
bro. It's not. It's
what you
not,
saying
it's,
is all cultures beat women.
no,
not just
I'm
Jamaican
sorry.
women.
Everybody has your
Yeah,
ethnicity
that's
has
what she's
nothing to
saying,
do
bro.
with whether or not
Yeah,
you
but you
want to
making
be
it
the
sound
bully.
like bitch niggas
I'm
walking
sorry.
around whooping
No,
ass.
but just because you don't put your physical hands on a woman, that doesn't mean you're not abusing them. It's
True,
different stages
true.
to,
That
like,
is
you
true.
don't gotta beat them just because you think you're not beating them physically.
That is
That
true.
don't mean you're not beating them
I agree.
mentally. Like, it's
I agree.
more
Yeah,
to that.
Good job, Fufu.
yeah, baby.
I agree, bro.
Financially,
He's in that
mentally.
chicken foo-foo.
Yeah.
Put the chicken seasoning, bro. That's grill on there, man. That's grill.
Because there are men, Fufu, who really believe, well, I don't hit her, but you don't get that lady no money. You never there. All she can do for you is get pregnant and be
I
your
agree.
little sex slave. That's
I
it.
agree.
Hmm.
I'll
She
give you
can't
that.
even have a
Okay.
job.
100% agree with
Okay.
Fufu.
I'll give
I
you
agree
that.
with
I
that.
agree.
Because they don't put their hands on somebody, or they're not cheating on them, that they're still treating women well. Because you can not physically abuse them, but still emotionally and mentally abuse them. And for me, I feel like
Yeah.
emotional and mental abuse is way worse than physical, because you're messing with someone's mind,
Mhm.
like, their mental. So
Yeah. I used to be like that. I used to be like, bro, I'm paying. Listen, I'm paying bills. You feel me? I'm doing this or doing that. Like, I'm doing a good job. It took me a while to
That's what
realize
this was saying.
that's
Yeah.
not a good job.
Oh,
Like, it's just-
wow.
I used to be like
But
that.
that's Haitian man. Of course, we're gonna think that, bro. Like you think
I
you're
was
supposed
going
to
to say,
provide
that's
and just do
something in
that. You know
y'all
what I'm saying? That's
culture.
all you need to do is
Yeah.
for. I need to pay the bills, take care of my. You feel me? Make sure my kids got a roof over their head. And if my wife complaining, what you got to complain about? Nigga, you got a roof over your head and food in the
Say it in
fridge
Creole
and the
so
kids
it
eating.
sounds better
You
in
know what I'm saying?
Creole.
Like,
Say it in Creole, Clip.
but
Say
you know what I'm
it
saying?
in
We have to learn. We have to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like just because our people did that shit, that wasn't the. You know what I'm saying? That we was raised and then we came out somewhat decent because of it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the right way to move. Bro.
Some of y'all daddies was abusive outside of physical. They was hella abusive. They had multiple baby mamas. Multiple.
I don't know about my
families.
dad. My dad, you know what I'm saying? All I know
No,
is
Santa
Multiple
Claus,
baby
don't you dare
mamas
talk
were
about Santa
abusive?
Claus. Santa Claus was faithful to his red bone.
That's
I'm just
emotional
saying.
abuse, France. That's emotional abuse.
What?
You're literally having babies on me. I'm your wife,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
having babies
Did he
with
say
other
something was?
women.
Did
He
he
No,
said
I
say
that
was
is
saying,
that
because you said
abusive.
multiple
Hell
baby
yeah,
mamas.
that's
Is that equal abuse?
yeah,
yes,
emotional abuse.
Shit,
Absolutely.
that might be one of the worst right now, bro.
yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what that feels like, France? You shopping in a store, you looking at this girl, baby, and you like, why she look like my son? Why that baby look like my
France,
son?
put it this way. I'm gonna put it to you.
I
Put it
bet.
okay, you having a baby on your old lady is like her leaving you for another nigga, dog. Like you
Yeah,
know it
but
takes
that's
her
abuse, or
you
is that tricking? Like you cheated, like that's abuse. Like I'm
That's
not
emotional.
manipulating you. Like
That's
you're right. It
emotional.
might not be abuse, bro. It
it's
might
not
not be
No,
abuse.
abuse. Come
no.
on,
Listen,
like
this
It
is
might
when
not be
it be,
abuse.
no, it's abuse when it becomes a pattern. For anything to be considered abusive, it has to be something that is a pattern and that happens more than once. Okay,
And
so if you
Cassandra
are
said multiple baby mamas, right?
consistently, yeah, multiple baby
Okay, whatever.
mamas. So if you are consistently cheating on me and having other women, now of course I have a choice. I shouldn't be with you or whatever. But let's say I am in that relationship and you keep coming back and whispering the woo woos in my ear. Emotionally, you are abusing me because you're mentally making me feel this one way when it's really not that. And then also, I'm going to be looking at myself like, why am I not worthy enough? Why is this person? Why am I not enough? Why am I not enough for this person that they have to go out and go get this other person pregnant or do this or do that with someone else? You start to feel like less of a person or less of a woman. Like you giving your all to somebody and they're fucking around with other people. That
gotcha.
mentally, that's going to create some insecurities that you're going to, even if you do leave that relationship, you may carry it on to your next because mentally you was drugged through the fucking mud.
Yeah, he manipulating you, he
Exactly.
abusing you mentally, but I'm
I
just
agree.
thinking just the act of cheating and having a baby. I don't know if that's abusive, but I guess if you're doing it
Yeah.
habitually,
Consistently.
yeah.
Then exactly. Yeah, that's the
Bro,
difference.
you do it
That's-
one time, it's still abuse. Okay, bro?
Nah, one
Yeah.
time, you know what
One
I'm saying?
time
If
it's
you
abuse.
Nah.
one time is not abuse.
It's
If
like,
you doing
man,
that,
he
if you had
abused
3
you.
babies on the same girl, bro, it's like okay, being like now you just
She abusing
don't
herself at
respect
that
her. You
point.
know what I'm saying? All this, bro.
Yeah.
Like
She
No,
you
abusing
do it
but
one
herself.
time, bro. It's like okay.
I think people don't look at the emotional aspect when it comes to relationships. They really focus on the physical, like, oh, I ain't sticking my dick in no other bitch, so she better be happy. Like, no, you have to meet people's needs all around, and humans, not just women, human beings, we have physical, emotional needs. So you can't
Thank you for
just
taking
focus
me to my
on
next question right
one
there.
aspect. And I
Right
think
into my
men
next question.
that
Right.
let me just finish. The men that men that fuck with women emotionally, especially to women that don't deserve it. Let me tell you something about that lady called Karma, boy.
Hmm.
So
Anyways, go
that
ahead.
went right into my next question, kind of, sorta. I kind of want to ask because I kind of want to set something up here, but do you think men and women show love the same or differently, and then how? Which is because I think that's I guess our communication styles is how we like to express love. So
Do you think men and women show up the same or differently, and how?
I think that's based on like how you was raised, because if you raised by a woman, you ain't got no father figure. You're gonna express your love in a way that which is what we do with people anyway, with anything in any situation. You know, we can only say or do what we know. You know, so if I'm taught to love by a woman, and it also coincides with the last thing, but if I'm taught by a woman, and she teaching me to be kind to people. If I see a female or I see a woman and I like her, you know, I wasn't raised to be mean to a female if I like her.
You know, just like you know, I know for I know for a fact my mom wouldn't stand for me not loving my wife the best way that I could love her. You know, rather if I gotta go through some things, go through the storm, stick it out, or whatever the case may be. You know that love is just the love got to do what it has to do, regardless. You know, if you ain't abusing them, you know, like you said, it's more than a physical thing. You know, telling somebody I love them, showing somebody I love them. You know, there's so many ways to do that. Plenty of ways to do that, but I think I really feel like it all falls down to how you were taught. What was your upbringing like? You know, because if your mom or dad didn't show you how to love nobody, or you didn't have nobody to show you how to love somebody the correct way, then in honesty, shit, we've been loving the wrong way. You know, if I feel like, well, you know, I love this person and I treat them like crap. You know, rather not if I pay the bills for them, you know, I treat them like crap, or talk down to them, belittle them, and it might not even be on purpose, but just the fact that you know I'm not acknowledging how that person feels, you know what they going through or what they've been through, you know that's really not the correct way of loving somebody. My
I'm gonna
opinion.
take the. I'm gonna take the. Well, I agree with you on that, but I'm gonna add like an extra to it. I think the opposite could be true too, because I think I'm a product of the opposite, where um my mom and dad didn't really like show me no love or none of, you know what I'm saying, show me no affection or none of that. So I think because they didn't show me none, I overshowed on my kids and my wife, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't get none. And I was like, okay, Beam, I know how it feels if you don't get none. So I want to, you know what I'm saying, show my kids and then my wife that, you know what I'm saying? So I think I did the opposite. Like I wasn't,
100% right. That's
yeah, I
100%
wasn't,
right.
they didn't teach me, okay, Beam, like they wasn't saying I love yous and showing all affection and all that stuff. So I felt like I wanted it and I needed it as a kid. So I was like, okay, well, when I'm of age to have kids, I'm gonna do that for my kids, so they're not gonna have to miss that, and I'm gonna do that for my wife because she's not gonna have to miss that. So I think I took like the whole opposite way looking at it.
No, you and bro, I agree with you 100%, bro. And why I say that, because I experienced the same thing. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Yeah, mom, you know, she'll tell us she love us, you know, treat us like she love us, sure that she love us, but you know, dad, it wasn't it was nothing like that at all.
Yeah, you
You
got
know
food
what
on
I'm
the
saying?
table. You know,
It
it's
was like
whatever,
a
bro.
phone call here and there, you know, phone call here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there to get you, never show. Phone call here and there. I'll be there to get you, never show. And then and it kind of and it kind of became a pattern. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And when I say a pattern, like a consistent, strong pattern, to where it got to a point where now let me reverse, because there was always a point where mom would tell us, "Yeah, your dad love you, son, but you know he just can't be here right now. But he love y'all. Don't worry, he love y'all." But how much of that can she really tell me, and how much of that can I take, and
Without them
how much
showing
of
you.
that should I instill in me without actually getting the love from my dad, who I'm looking for the love from?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's kind of like shooting yourself in the foot over and over and over again. Like, well, why doesn't he love me? Why won't he come see us? Well, why won't he do this? Why won't he do that? You know, and constantly I'm hearing her and seeing her make excuses. You know, I ain't gonna say she was lying, but I'm constantly hearing her make excuses on
She was trying to make sure he's still in a good light in your eyes, bro, as a kid, bro. You
right,
know what I'm saying?
and
Yeah.
which she did when it got well, until it got to a point where, you know, well we human, bro, we get to an age and we start to see shit like, well,
Mm-hmm. And then it
okay,
makes
mom,
sense
what
to
you
you.
said this. All right, well, I just talked to him. Well, this it ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. Mom, you telling me 1 + 1 is 2. He's telling me 1 + 3 is 5. I mean, you know, something not adding up here. Something not adding up. Yeah, he telling me he loved me, but every time I ask him to come pick me up, it's okay, I'll be there, but never show. You know, so I mean, and what you were saying, that just to piggyback on what you were saying, you know, we kind of doing it the opposite, not kind of, but that's exactly what we're doing. Is the opposite.
I think a lot of us chose the opposite because we know what it felt like to not get what we wanted or have that feeling. So we was like, I think a lot of us at our age, you know what I'm saying, is just doing the opposite of what our parents did. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't want to do nothing. Like I told Shirley when I met her, bro, I was like, bro, like worst case scenario though, like I don't want to be like my dad to where like I know he was a provider, he did good for us, like he kept a roof over our head, and I appreciate him for that. But like what I was missing from him, bro, like was guidance, bro. Like I feel like it took me a long time to get to where I needed, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like you had some keys, bro, that you could have just gave to me, bro. And I was in the house with you the whole time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that, so I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm not gonna do that to my kid, bro. Like I'm gonna be in the house with you. I'm gonna give you what I got, bro. So
where do you think like people like, okay, a lot of us on this call didn't have like the perfect example of how to love, or we were never taught how to love. Like for me, my mom may never teach me this is how you treat a man, this is how you're supposed to be in a relationship, because my whole life I heard no boyfriend, no boyfriend, no boyfriend, school. So I never had conversations like that with my mom. It was literally my brothers that would be like, don't let a nigga talk to you like this, don't let a nigga treat you like that, which is why I act like a nigga now. Like I don't show affection that well. I don't do, because I literally was taught and raised by my brothers. But I want to know, like, where does everybody draw their inspiration from now? Because like we know we can't go back to our parents and have these conversations.
Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I think
this is who I looked up as like, okay, Bean, that nigga look like he's a good dad. The Uncle Phil look decent, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Winslow look decent, you know what I'm saying? Like they look like decent dads, bro. I was like, okay, Bean, this is what I need to be doing. They there for their kids, they going to their kids' games, they teaching them lessons. When Will was crying about his real dad, Uncle Phil was there to hug him, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, this is how a nigga supposed to move.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I feel like a lot of it comes from that, and I think a lot of it comes from what Fufu said, like from each other. I feel like one thing that we all have in common is we all want to be successful. We want successful marriages, successful friendships, relationships. We want successful children. So I feel like a lot of us, like we just absorb it and like just information. We looking at what good looks like, what great looks like, what does bad look like, how did that affect me growing up? Like we looking in the mirror, we having these kinds of conversations. So I feel like that's where it's really coming from for us here. That's why I feel like we all have a lot in common, just because we want to be successful. So we're not afraid to, talk about the opportunities.
What I was gonna add to that, bro, because like that's a very valid point that you made, bro, about the damn, I missed it. But I was like, oh, it's a very valid point to where all of us are having like, damn, what you said, bro. Well, repeat it again, Franz. I forgot what the thing was.
Successful marriages, successful relationships, just looking in the mirror, talking to one another.
Being there, it is.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Okay, I think we had a point to where, like, and I mean, I don't blame our peoples because like our peoples came from where they came from, but like they elevated us, they did the grunt work to where we had. I was talking to Shirley about it the other day, bro. Like we able to lift our head up, you know what I'm saying, and be like, okay, Beam, I can look internally now because I don't gotta like force fight for food and a roof over my head. Like they was coming from Haiti, you know what I'm saying? They was like, okay, Beam, I gotta worry about. I got 2 kids, 3 kids, 4, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get these kids inside the house. I gotta get my wife, you know what I'm saying? They was worried about other shit to the point where they couldn't internalize or self-actualize, you know what I'm saying? They had to focus on making payments and stuff like that, to where we successful enough to where we looking at it like, okay, Beam, I got enough money. I got a roof over my head. I can look internally now and say, okay, Beam, like the way they was raising me, it wasn't the right way. But I feel like they was raising us the best they could. It wasn't the best, but you know what I'm saying? At the time, that's probably what the best they could do.
But
I mean, if they would have been in the What's
my
that?
bad. Okay. No, I was saying my question to you is that you saying that you wasn't raised the right way. What is the right way?
I didn't say the right way. I'm saying
You did say the right way.
they didn't
You
raise
said
us.
the
They
right
raised
way.
us the best they
You
could. Okay, well, the
said
way that I feel like
you didn't raise
the
us
way
the
I
right way. They raised us the
okay,
best
right way
way
was the
they
wrong
could.
word. Right way is the
Oh,
wrong word.
okay.
Right way is the wrong word. The word what I'm trying to say is we are able to look now and look back and be like, okay, Bean, how they did us, that's abuse. You know what I'm saying? We can look back at that now, you know what I'm saying? Because we can pop our heads up out the sand. But they didn't have their heads popped up out the sand. They had was dirt dug in the dirt trying to dig. You know what I'm saying? So to them, it was not abuse. I'm just trying to make sure my kid don't end up on these streets. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it was the right way, but at the same time, you
It
looking
was
back
their
and it's
best way.
abuse. You know what I'm saying? It's still abuse, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was still abuse.
It was
That's what
their
I'm saying.
best.
It's not no wrong or right way, but it still was abuse. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think they did with the best way they knew how, with the circumstances that they had and the resources they
Exactly.
were given. Like, we are in a better position. You
And
know,
that's what we treat our
Maslow's
kids better.
hierarchy of needs. We are in a better position, so we're up the ladder on the hierarchy of needs. So now we can actually self-reflect and self-actualize. Where them, it was just different. They did the best that they could for the time and the resources that they had. It was just different.
A lot more access to information, man. I feel like we
Exactly. That's
have
what I
that
was
kind
trying
of
to say. Yeah.
access. Yeah.
They was dealing with,
I
you know
mean,
what I'm
they
saying,
they
coming
have
from
books
Haiti.
too, though. They
You
could
know
have
what I'm
read the
saying? But
book.
what I'm saying, they coming from Haiti. You know what I'm saying? They peoples beat them. You know what I'm saying? They coming over here. They got to beat us to keep us straight. You know, they doing what they was, you feel me? Whatever worked. You know what I'm saying? This is what worked for me. It's gonna work for my kids. You know what I'm saying? But we at the point where we like, okay, Bean, this ain't the only way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it works, sort of. You know what I'm saying? I ain't on the street. I ain't selling dope or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it kind of worked. But you feel me? There's other ways you could have did it too. And we just now at the point where we could just see it.
At
I
what
think that's
age? Go ahead, Sam.
I think that's like a generational thing though, because our parents were better than our grandparents and so on and so on. So even our kids are going to make prayerfully, our kids make better decisions than we do, because there's resources that are available to our children because of the decisions that we have made that's going to make them better, you know. Like I don't think my daughters or my son is going to struggle with low self-esteem or struggle with anger the way I did, because I'm trying to find ways to, you know, call it out now while they're little, so when they're older they'll be like, you know what, my mom did talk. I do deal with a little bit of that, so let me find a better way for that. Or our kids are going to be able to say, you know what, I want to have kids, because I do believe some of our kids are going to start to realize being a parent is a very difficult task. It is a very sacrificing task. It is a very tedious and time-consuming task. So I believe some of our kids are going to look back and be like, bruh, I don't even want to be a parent. I just want to go to college. I just want to live my best life. I want to be the rich auntie, the rich uncle, and I'm good at that. And some of our kids might, some of them may even be comfortable with saying, I don't even want to get married. Like, I don't want that task. So I think it's a generational thing at the end of
How
the
you
day.
gonna be the rich auntie and rich uncle when ain't no kids?
You don't need listen to it. Listen to the title.
Rich
The rich
auntie, rich uncle.
I
Somebody
have
else had
nieces and
kids.
nephews.
What I'm saying
prime
is,
She's not saying every single person, just saying there's going to be less and less people having kids.
Okay, my bad.
You
That's
can
what
see it
is.
now
Okay.
scientifically.
No, I do see that.
Yeah,
I do see that.
unfortunately, there's more people in
There's
our
less people getting
generation
together.
choosing, or they're getting
choosing
pregnant, they're
marriage and all
not
that
keeping the pregnancy, or they're not getting married, or they're doing like relationships, but
I
they
would
don't
I
want
would
to be
say I agree, but I disagree, because in this whole conversation we're having right now, everybody's on this conversation right now have kids besides me. So you can't say that's the norm. That's not norm.
No, it's not that.
It's not our generation, bro. It's the ones after
not
us,
that.
bro. It's the
Think
ones
about
after us. We still was
you
the
gotta
ones
look
that
at the
like kind of
younger
went to church.
millennials. Look at the younger millennials,
No,
the ones who are under
I hear
us.
what you're
A
saying.
lot of them are
I'm
not
not
having kids.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. But even with the younger millennial situations going on, granted, are they having kids where we had kids? They're not. So I agree with you. But at the same token, you can't say that like, well, people just because of whatever situation you want to say, they're just not having kids. Are they having kids? They're not. But at the same token, then
It's people who choosing because either you had kids because of a bad situation, you had kids because of this, you have kids because of that, or you got married and you end up having kids. They're still having a lot of kids popping out. But
No,
you
but I
can't
think
say that.
the thing
They
is,
No
wrap it up.
scientific, no
let's
Prince.
yes,
Prince, go
the stats,
Google it
the
right
stats
now.
is going down, bro.
Listen,
The stats is
The
going down,
stats
bro.
for
The
people
percentage
having
is down.
children have decreased. People
Yeah, the
our
percentage is
age,
down.
remember when our parents were our age, our parents had 2, 3, 4 kids, right? We are in our 30s and some of us are only on the second kid. And there are people I know in their 40s who are only on the first kid. It has decreased
I'm in my
severely.
30s.
So they're
And
using more contraceptives these days.
And there's a
I
lot
don't
more
use
access
contraceptives.
to abortion.
I don't use contraceptives. I have 0 kids.
I mean, it is statistically proven that the childbirth rate is declining. I mean, that is one of the reasons why a lot of these states are starting to enact those abortion laws. Is
Exactly.
because
So they don't kill the kids, so we can have more kids. Because
No.
Because
I
if the
think
population don't grow, y'all might as well pack your bags and get ready for Jesus.
No,
Because there ain't nothing else.
I don't think. See, once again, I always think when I get laws, one thing I always look at when it comes to laws not made for black folks. The reason why I feel like those laws is happening is because there's too many black people being born. There's too many different folks being born here. So the white folks are saying, well, if we could change the law,
because there's not enough kids. There's not
because
enough
they
kids
want
on
to
the end.
right, it's not enough of them. It's not because it's not enough. It's not
But that's what I'm
because
saying. The rates is going down. The rates
Right.
generally is going down
Well,
for
I mean,
everybody.
blacks about to
But
come
they
up.
need more of
So
them. They
minorities
need
about
more
to
of them.
come up.
We probably popping them out still a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But they need more of them to just pop out.
well,
you know
they
what I'm
need
saying?
to
So-
tell their granddaughter Becky stop talking to our sons Clive and Marvin.
Clive? Who's
And that's the
Clive?
problem. But that's
Clive
why,
sound like he's 45.
That's why they're becoming minorities because their daughters are sleeping with our sons, and now they're producing more biracial children.
Yeah, there's
so
a lot
that's
of
why they're the minority.
yeah.
Right. And to
That's
me,
why they're the minority.
yeah, remember, I think I'm not once
Well,
again,
they're
I'm
the
not,
minority.
I'm not a fact person, but I think when they started birth control, it's because of those reasons why they didn't want too much black people having too much kids here. Well,
Regardless, even if every single black person in the United States had a baby, the white people would still outnumber us.
Because we're only 13%,
So,
bro.
yeah, so they are doing it to protect and to have more white people, but even if I don't think it's a dig at black people, because even if we did reproduce at their rate, they would still be more in the United States.
Yeah. Like we are 13%. And then I think Spanish people is like we 13.
It's Spanish people
and then
and
then Spanish people is like freaking 9 or 10, bro. Like they coming up, bro. Like they coming up fast, bro. Like we've been here the whole time, bro. 400 and some years, bro. And we only 13%. Spanish people are 9%. Quick, dude. Right there.
I think Spanish is more than that.
They might be more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying how fat. Like they haven't. I mean, technically the country was partially their majority, but you know what I'm saying? It got taken. But still, Mexicans and others, Cubans and all them people, like it's a lot of them to the point where they are a percentage that's damn near rivaling black people, bro.
They say it's only 13% of us.
No, it's
19%
Hispanic.
And then 13 us, yeah. So we under them
There's
already.
more Hispanics in America than there are blacks.
Yeah.
And we listen, they took us from all over Africa, bro, and then just brought us all over here, and we still 13%.
Could it be because there's a could it be that could it be the mixing that they're not counting? Like I don't really trust them stats. I don't trust them stats. I feel like
as soon as you mix with black is black, bro. As soon as you mix with black is black. It's not white no more. So the mixing can't even be.
United States right now, current population right now is $331 million. 331 million people. And then black people of that 331 million is, where's that?
Are we at least at a mil?
No, we gotta be. It was 13%. Yeah, we gotta be at a couple.
I'm talking about percentage.
We gotta be at least like 10 million, 10, 13 million.
No, we're 40 million.
No. Oh, 40.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at percentage.
Out of 300 million is only
40, yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like, honestly, people are lying on those stats. Like people are saying that they're Hispanic and they're really black, right? They're really, really black. It's just they're preferring to
like Dominicans or something like that.
Taking DNA. There are more blacks in Dominican Republic than there are probably white. Dominicans. If I can pass a Dominican, and sometimes you don't even realize they're Dominican, they look just like us.
But
Brazilian, the same thing.
What's the questions they ask on the thing, bro? They say,
They
are you
put
black?
Hispanic.
Or
They're
are
not
you
going to
Hispanic?
put black.
Well, I'm
They're not gonna
not
put
black. I'm Hispanic. Goddamn it, I'm from Dominican Republic. I'm Hispanic. That's what
You
they're gonna put.
most of
I don't blame
well, as a Haitian, don't y'all think most of y'all could just put Hispanic? Most of y'all are
No,
Hispanic.
'cause I'm
Most
not
of y'all
Hispanic.
are Hispanic.
No, we're not.
If
We're
it
not.
said
We're not.
Latin,
We're not.
if it said Latin, then yes, because we
Yeah,
are
my bad,
part of
because
Latin
we're a Latin
America.
American
I'm
country
sorry,
or a Latin
Latin.
country. But yeah, I'm not Hispanic.
But I am a Latina.
That's what I was gonna say, Shirley. You don't have Latin in you?
We all do, because Haitian is a Latin country, so technically Haitians could be Latina or Latino.
The original
Probably
is
checking that shit
Hispaniola.
off on the
Hispaniola is the
application.
original.
Well, I'm gonna tell my kids to start checking Hispanic, and if they ask them, I'm gonna say they're from how you say it again?
Hispaniola. Hispaniola was the whole
Hispaniola.
country.
Hispaniola
They
is
daddy
an
was
island.
Hispaniolan.
The island, my bad. It was the whole
The
island. They
island.
broke it
The
down in
island is
half.
called Hispaniola. But yeah, think about it. DR is one spot, Haiti's one spot. But it's
But the
not the
whole
same.
island was Hispaniola.
but don't
It
be making
wasn't
my
separated
percentages
until
go
French
down,
said,
though.
okay, we taking one side and Spain said we taking the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But the whole thing was run by Spain or somebody Spanish at one time, bro.
But can you tell the
If you
difference
said it
between a
from one time,
Haitian,
it was already
man,
there.
and
So it was already
Dominican
there.
man?
Well, it was like no island that was sitting there and nobody was living there, and then Spain
I get
came
you.
and brought Haitians or brought Spanish people to the island. No, it was people there already. It's like saying
I
Columbus found fucking America. No, nigga, people was already here. Did you
I
bring
agree.
people here and this and the
It
third?
was the Tainos. I agree.
But
I
don't
agree.
say
The
you just
Tainos.
discovered it. Right, I forgot what the name, but right, Haitians was already there. Well, I'm not gonna say it was Haitians. I forgot the name.
Tainos. It was the
Y'all
Native
do know
Americans.
that.
Well, native.
We do know
What
what.
you about to say,
Shirley?
Shirley?
The reason why Haiti is considered a Latin country is because of the Romance language. It derives from France. It has nothing to
Right.
do with being Hispanic or Spanish. A Latin
They
country.
come from language.
Because Latin is a language. It's a dead language now, but French derived from Latin, which Creole derived from French. So that's why Haiti is considered a Latin country, because it's
That's why I
based
don't. That's why I don't like when they say That's why I don't like when they say Creole is not a freaking Latin language or it's a dialect of French. I mean, it is a dialect, but like it's a dialect of French. So if French is a Latin thing, so Creole got to be a freaking Latin thing too. But they don't consider Creole a Latin language.
But tell you, so what they do with the Latin language? I think they do like it's Portuguese, French, Spanish, and
all
Italian.
Romance language, Italian. Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. But Creole is a dialect of French. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right,
it's like
but yeah,
slang for French. You know what I'm saying? So
Also,
it's like
dialect is a dialect. It's not a language. It's a dialect. That's what it's called.
No,
it's
dialect.
slang. You know what I'm saying? It's a slang.
Creole is a language, but the
Yeah,
thing,
Creole's not a dialect. It's
It's a
considered
But
language.
it's derived from primarily French and a little bit of Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So how is it not a Latin? That's what my point is. How is it not a Latin language if it's
'Cause you're
derived
black.
from those two Latin
It's
languages?
because you're black, and it will never.
A laptop?
Yeah. I was on my phone. And
Y'all hear it?
No.
it's not running. I see you moving mouses, but
Hold on, you said this is your first
Alright.
laptop?
after my life.
Damn.
Yeah.
Rough, bro.
2023, man. Welcome.
Hey, I'm here.
Hold it down, Frank. Hold it down. Hold it down. Hold it down.
Fufu take. I ain't never owned no laptop.
You ain't never
I'm
stole
about to
one either?
play right now.
I didn't want to.
We don't steal, Frank.
Oh, yeah. Cut that out. Cut that part out.
Want to have a conversation get in the way
Can you
of
start it over?
productivity
Y'all hear it?
Yeah,
No.
start it over.
because I don't want to sound less than.
Run it back one more time.
All right.
Relationships in terms of issues can be fixed with a simple conversation. But it's just people don't want to have a conversation. They let ego get in the way of productivity and progress. Because I don't want to sound less than manly when I come to you and tell you, hey, baby, I'm not feeling valued. Or, hey, baby, I don't feel like you're spending enough time with me. Or, hey, baby, like when you do certain things, it's emasculating. Like a lot of men are not willing to have those conversations. We'll go outside and express it in unproductive ways. when they could have been fixed with a simple sitting her down and letting her know these things. Because some women just don't understand. They just don't get it. Like, you got to break it down in layman's terms for her to get. But once you do it, more times than not, if she's the right woman for you, you make that clarification, then she'll do what it takes to not repeat those same mistakes. Most things in relationships in terms of issues can be fixed with a simple conversation. But it's just people don't want to have a conversation. They let ego get in the way of product.
All right. So we let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm not gonna take the why most men would rather cheat part, you know what I'm saying? But the part where he was saying having a conversation, I think that was a very good piece to take away from there. And then my question to the panel of guests, illustrious guests, I appreciate y'all for showing up as usual.
Don't show up usually. I wouldn't say as usual.
Dang, bro, you always gotta put my boy out, dog. Like, he's here today. He's here today.
I'm a regular, man. I'm a regular.
All right, so my question is: are men and women afraid to have important conversations with each other?
Yes.
Nah, I got a thought on. I don't think so, man. I got a thought on that.
Well, go ahead and get your thought off.
My thought on it is, I feel like.
Hold on. Before your thought, you saying yes or no, and didn't say your thought.
How you gonna tell him how to explain himself?
Oh, you're right. I shouldn't do that. You're right. Go ahead. Because he's not answering the question, but she's saying, "Fuck your question."
Are they afraid? I don't know. So I would say no. I don't think. My opinion, I don't think men and women are afraid to have important conversations. Okay. I feel, in my opinion, the disconnect comes from you as a man or a woman. Sometimes in a relationship, you feel like your partner, your other half, should know or speak your language. So I feel like there's a lot of times when, if I'm hungry, my partner just knowing me, how many times we've been out together, how many times we've dated, how many times we've communicated, how many times we laughed at the same stories, you be like, yo, like, you hungry. Like, that's why you acting like that. Like, you know each other to that kind of depth. So sometimes you feel like you should even have to say anything for them to know that something is wrong. So when you have to address something, I feel like you may feel like you addressing it in a way that they can understand, and then they still not getting it. So I feel like some of it is the connectiveness where you feel like you and your partner are here in your mind. So you feel like you saying what needs to be said, but y'all not really here, and y'all here. And that's where the miscommunication, why the disconnect is happening. So I feel like you may be having important conversations, but there's that missing connectiveness. And I feel like that's what's happened to me in past relationships is, you feel like I'm assuming that you should know. And we shouldn't have to have this kind of conversation. The fact that we got to have the conversation, I may be shortcutting the conversation, but you should know me and I should know you. That's how I feel sometimes.
Is that your mindset now, though, France?
Respectfully.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
I respectfully disagree
Disrespectfully. I don't have.
I disagree too. But
to be guessing or trying, are you thinking I know how? Let me know. Like, to me, that's because we're talking about communication. Like, we're talking about communication. So you sitting over here having something on your head or your heart, and you
gotta get it all.
I should know, and I really am oblivious and don't know. Mm-hmm. And there's nobody walking this earth that can just read somebody and be like, oh, you know exactly how I'm feeling. Like, no, speak up, nigga. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me what's bothering you, and what can we do to fix it? Because that's communication. There's
I agree with Franz. I used to be like that too, you know what I'm saying? And then it wasn't until I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting, you feel me? I'm not getting the results I want, you know what I'm saying? So I had to be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Shirley, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that you did that, bro. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, such and such. Or
can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
When I get to there, I'm beyond, like, when this happens today.
Nah.
Like, by the time if I gotta sit down and have an important conversation, I feel like I'm already.
But you making it bigger than what it need to be though, because you making it an important conversation when it could just be, hey, such and such, let's do this, or I don't like it. It could be a regular conversation. It could be like, hey, just like you making them saying good morning, bro.
when I'm thinking important conversation, I'm thinking me and you got to sit down for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hash
No.
shit
Nah,
out.
it don't even gotta
Like
be
if I
that.
can't tell you something in 30 seconds, like if I could, yo, Clear, I don't like the way you're moving right now. Bitch, that's all I gotta say. Like what kind
But
of
first,
Yeah,
you
but that's what I'm
can't
saying.
treat
Why
you
don't you say
can't
that?
treat your relationship the way you treat your cousin. They're two
No, but I
different
hear
people.
you. But if
The
I
way
go,
you
But he can
communicate
do
with
that
Cliff,
though.
you can't communicate with your wife.
He could do
At
that.
all.
He could do
I
that, bro. He
get
can.
that.
He
But
can
what
do
I'm
that. He can be
saying,
like,
by
hey,
the time it, my wife, I should be able to communicate with her easier than I communicate with Clear. She should like.
How long y'all
know
been
her.
married? How
She
long
should
y'all
know
been
me.
married? France,
Listen,
how long y'all been
no,
married?
bro.
We're married 8 years.
Right, but
How
you
long
can't
you known
say
each other?
she should know you. You can't say that. Like you have to communicate to her. You can't say, "Oh, she should know
I'm gonna
that,"
bring a
because
caveat.
she
I'm
might
gonna bring a
just not
caveat.
know. But
I'm
if you don't
telling you,
use
man.
the
Front,
words, how she
I'm in the
gonna
Front, you the
know?
car.
You're
same.
I'm in the
You the
car
guessing.
same
with her the
person you
other
was.
day.
You
I'm
the
in
same
the
person you
car.
was 5 years ago, France.
I was about to ask
I'm
that.
not. I'm not.
So how is she
But
gonna know
those
who the hell you are?
How's she supposed
those
to know who
5
you
How
are?
is
years,
she supposed to know who you are?
because
Or
those
how
5
what you
She's
years,
thinking?
supposed to
I
adapt
checked
with
the
you.
5 years. The person I was 5 years ago to the person I am today.
You ain't the
from 5
same
years
person from
ago.
last year, bro. Like, come
You're
on, you
not
thinking
exactly.
different,
You
bro.
just
No,
sat
but
You
here,
y'all
thinking different, bro.
France.
check
In
me
the
Because
out,
I'm not the
beginning
man.
same
of the
person.
call, France, in the beginning of the call, you sat here and was talking about all the things that are happening in your life. Every single one of those new things that are happening in your life are molding your personality right now. And
Correct.
you are
Changing.
changing as a person. How the
Correct.
hell is your wife supposed to still know when you feel some type of way?
Okay, check me out. The same person I was the last 5 years, I'm not the same person. But
Check
throughout
me
those 5 years, I've been with the same person, going to sleep with her, waking up with her. So this transition
That
that
don't
makes
matter,
right
bro.
now,
Relationships
You're
change.
changing.
That don't
it's bruh.
Relationships
matter.
change
You're
day
changing
to
and
day
she's
to
changing
day
too,
to
bro.
day.
Listen, I hear you, but if I'm yesterday, I was in the car with her, right? And she's snapping at everything, and I said, "Baby, you hungry? Like I know you hungry." She said, "Yeah, I'm hungry." I'm like, "Okay, let's go get something to eat," because I know her that well to be like, I know where you like when you don't. This
So
certain
you
conversation.
honestly think the reason why she was tripping on you because that she was just hungry? It's deeper than that.
No,
She
like,
just let you deal with the surface
Yeah, she
things.
just
That was the surface.
that's just the
It's
skim of the like
something
that's just the
deeper.
tip of the
Yeah,
ice,
France,
bro.
I'm
Like
A woman,
hungry.
you think
Yeah, I'm
that's the
hungry,
only
France.
reason
you hit
why
that
she
on
just
the
let
head.
that
Let me get
go?
some
okay.
love.
You hit that on
God
the
damn
head.
it.
Ain't no way it was just anger. France, you either keep peeing on the
Hungry for
toilet
some
and she
love,
done told you
France.
to stop peeing on the toilet. You
Nah,
either getting
it's
angry with her or you not
Y'all
handing
just
her
burst.
enough attention. It's something. But she just
Okay,
let you give
I
her
know
something to
she
eat.
was hungry. She was breastfeeding the baby. She ain't eat all
She could have been
day.
hungry
We
too.
out on the
Yeah.
road.
No,
I know
France,
she was hungry.
yes,
'Cause,
France, we're not saying she wasn't hungry. What we're saying is that's not the root of the problem. That was just
man,
a little band-aid you put on the problem. She
Yeah.
just let you have that right there. You know what, babe? Yeah, I'm hungry. Since you
that's
said it, yep, I'm hungry. That's why.
because usually she don't be snapping like that. So the fact that I know that we had a long day, and I know that she was breastfeeding, and I know she didn't eat. I'm like, yo, you a little quick on the trigger right now. Are you hungry? And she was like, yes, I am.
France, you
I'm
know
like,
what a better question would have been? You a little quick on the trigger right now. What's up? Do you need to talk? What's really going on?
What's
I
wrong?
what's wrong?
guarantee you,
What's
Yeah, what's
she
wrong?
would
wrong?
have
What's
not
wrong with it,
responded
baby?
with "I'm hungry." I guarantee you, she
It
would
would
have
have
not
never
But
been
I'm saying
that.
you,
she might not
because
even
I'm
know
saying you
what's
brought
wrong.
France, but
She
I'm
might
saying
not
France,
even know
you the
why
one
she's
who brought her
snapping.
up the solution.
Okay,
You
so
brought her up
France,
the
just say
solution.
you don't want to
You brought it
accept
to her
what we
like saying,
saying,
bro,
bro.
you hungry?
You gonna stick what
No,
you stand by, and that's it. Like you don't
She
give a
was
France,
fuck.
you the
hungry.
one
You
who
My
don't
brought
wife
care,
up
was
France.
hungry.
France, you
You
don't
the one
care.
who brought
That
up,
boy 10
are you
toes
hungry?
down. That boy 10
So of course
toes
she gonna
down.
say, I'm hungry. But if you would have asked
because that's
her,
what you
what's
said.
wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? She would have might gave you something different. But you
okay,
brought
so
up
what
hungry.
happened?
You said, all right, cool, I'm hungry.
What happened after she ate? She wasn't snapping no
No,
more.
but what were you guys doing before? What were you doing before she ate? What were you doing? You said you was on the road all day. What were you doing?
We was looking at houses.
That's what stressed her out, Franz. The process of looking for the houses.
That
she
was her
probably,
idea. What
no,
you mean? It
Franz, she was
stressed
probably
out?
overwhelmed.
It's just stressful.
That's
It's
certain
just
things
stressful.
overwhelm women that don't overwhelm men. And
And
we
if
will
she
not
would
I
tell
just
you
don't
it's
want people.
overwhelming
I wouldn't
because
say
we
that. I
know
just
it needs
people.
to be done.
listen,
If it's
I
something,
hear y'all, but I know my lady. I know her.
Okay,
I'm
France.
telling
All
y'all.
right, France.
Like if she would
Well,
have
hold on.
ate,
Okay.
if
No, I'm
she
gonna go
would
off
have
the
That
ate,
Cassandra
means
point.
France telling y'all to
I'm gonna go
shut
off
the
the
fuck
Cassandra
up.
point.
That's what France
I'm
telling
gonna go
y'all
off
to
the
do.
Cassandra point. Because Cassandra said certain things over, because this is what I'm gonna be like, okay, Beam, well, there's some communication that needs to be on your end too.
Yeah.
Because if you saying saying, oh, Bean, that's the stressor. And if he asks you if it's food and you yes, it's food, but you know the stressor is freaking.
Can I say
job,
something?
so-
Can I say something to
You
that?
need to say that too.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. In a day, right? And I'm gonna keep throwing this because I'm very proud that I've been married for 10 years. So I'm gonna keep throwing this because I want everybody to be married. Okay.
I've been married 10 years too.
Anyway, if you in a day, a woman tells you their stressors in a day, we tell you our stressors maybe 10 times. We find different ways to say it. And if you are a woman like me, I don't like conflict because I don't like to process through anger and stuff. I'm still working on that. So I'm gonna avoid conflict. But I'm gonna tell you, if Rodlin left, if my husband left his socks on the floor, right? We could be talking about the grade Shalom got on her report card. I'm gonna be like, yeah, but as she was, as she picked up them socks off the floor, she probably wouldn't have
That's
got
what I
the
was
F.
about to say. That's what I was about to say.
I'm
Y'all think y'all
repeating
saying it,
the
but y'all don't
same
say it, bro.
thing.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all think
But
y'all
that's
saying it, but y'all don't say it, bro. Y'all don't
At the
communicate,
end of the
bro.
day, if you go in the room and you see that there's a sock on the floor and clearly it's not Shalom's sock, I kind of told you.
Exactly. That's
But
exactly what I'm saying.
Is that the right communication? No, that's not communication.
I didn't say it was
That's
right.
not
I didn't say it
communication.
was right. I did not
That's
say it was right.
communication,
I
bro.
didn't say it
That's
was
you passively aggressively being like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That,
because she
them
feels
socks over
like
there, you know what
he
I'm saying?
should
They ain't
know.
gonna pick up themselves. That's passive aggressive.
No, for me, France is not that I feel like he should know. I just don't think I can say it without starting an argument. So that's why I go around the merry-go-round. I'm one of those people. I will kick the can and kick it till my toe is bloody red. I will
So,
keep kicking
Cassandra,
it.
basically what you're saying is you're afraid, like you afraid of
communication,
having,
bro.
that conflict or
But that's all
conversation.
you got.
There it is.
We have a conversation about this salt for the last 10 years. I don't have to
And
be
France, you scared
conversation
too.
about the salt no more. All I gotta do is say, if she would have picked up that damn salt, we would have. You
But
should
you
already
can't get
know.
mad. Listen, the reason why I'm so direct with people is so you can't say that you didn't know what I meant, you didn't know what I wanted, or you didn't understand what I said. I leave no room for you to give me an excuse. I told you directly, this is what I need, or this is what I don't like. So if you decide to ignore that, then I know how you feel because I was very direct. I don't leave no room like, oh, maybe he didn't understand it. No. I told you exactly what I meant and what I said. And you have to give the person that benefit of the doubt. You can't be like, oh, they should know. Or I joked around that they should pick up the socks. No, tell them to pick up the socks.
I feel like I haven't been. I'm not direct because, like I said, I don't know how to be direct and be polite or be
Say
respectful.
it and let it be known. That's it. Once you say it, let it be known and keep it moving, bro. Accept it or not.
When I say it, I have already been told before in my relationship, like you're a little firm, but that's how I was raised. So
but
that's
listen,
why.
But I would say,
Okay,
Cassandra, then we work on that. Work on your delivery. Work on, which
Not
is what I'm working on
passively
too.
aggressively kicking
Not
the can down the- you know
not
what I'm saying?
cutting
Yeah.
it out to avoid confrontation, because what you're doing is actually making more, because you're getting more irritated because you're not directly saying how you feel, and you know what I mean. So work on getting better at your delivery, but don't silence yourself.
You gotta say it and let it be known, bro.
France, this for you too. I'm gonna be the first partaker, but that's for you too, France, because me and you have the same concept that they should know already.
Nah,
you
And that's what I'm saying. I used to
gotta
think
come
like
to
that too,
terms
bro. I
with
used to
it,
think
though,
people
France.
could read
You do
minds
have to
and
come to terms with it. Nobody should be able to read your mind. Our kids
They
can't read our
have
mind.
to.
Shouldn't look for no spouse to be reading our
They
mind.
shouldn't
I
have
don't
to.
feel
We
like
are
you
all
should
adults.
have to read my mind, but if we have the important conversation, if I've told you, like, listen, if I come home from a hard day at work and you home all day and the house look crazy, I might come home with an attitude. But then we have the point, you tell me like, hey, I know, but the house can't be whatever, because I'm working and I'm dealing with the kid. So the home sometimes is gonna be upside down when you come home. So one, we established the line that says, hey, if I come home and I can't think straight when my house look crazy, you know that's how I am. And you tell me you can't even get the house straight because you busy and you got to take care of the kids. So I understand where you at. So we both understand each other.
So where's
we gotta
the-
talk
So
about
who's
it
the
no more.
solution? What's the
the
solution?
solution is, hey, you come home, you be like, okay, Beam, I know I can't work.
You don't tell
My
them the
bad.
solution.
You
Go
What's
ahead.
your
quiet. This ain't the solution.
The
Right.
solution is just now I come home and I figure the shit out. I clean up when I come home.
No,
I know I
that's
need
not
that.
you have
France.
to. That's
France,
not
that
I'm not gonna
the
keep having-
solution is to find maybe you guys need to get a cleaner to come every now and
Ain't
again.
no damn
Nope.
cleaner.
The
No,
solution
I mean,
is you come home and you be like, all right, babe, what you need help with? You know what I'm saying? You don't take all of it, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you know what I'm saying? What you need help with? All right,
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
I
take
don't
this,
have to keep
and then you
having
do
that
that, you know what I'm saying?
conversation because
Therefore,
we
your house
both
is
know
convenient
now.
to think, and then she get a little bit of help because obviously she need the help because she
Yeah.
can't clean the house. So she need the
So
help.
now,
You do this, you do that. Shit is cool.
Oh, Franz went off. But I think he
Well,
was
Girl,
trying
she done cut
He
the
done got
internet off on his
passionate.
ass.
He done got passionate.
She just said, "Don't be telling these people our business." God damn it!
No, but it's not funny though. But that's real life though. That's real. Cause sometimes it's hard, but you got to get to a point like where you're able to communicate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it might not be in a good way sometimes, but at least try and be honest with each other. Because if you keep beating around the bush, then after a while,
He said
it's
his
like
computer died
His
right on
computer died.
time.
I'm telling you, she cut the internet off.
She unplugged that Wi-Fi, man.
Listen, that's no excuse. Franz can sign on with his phone. I'm on my phone right now.
I'm telling you. But
your
yeah,
computer died at home. Like you at home.
Like that bit wasn't on the charger while you was.
Plug it
Mine's
in.
on the charger while I'm on it.
this still
Mine's on
being
the charger while
recorded.
I'm on it.
When y'all
Mine-
saw his
mine's
hand
on
go
the
like
charger.
this, he plugged the charger.
Cliff, is this still being recorded?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can't do frost like that, man. We can't do frost like that.
I'm gonna try to chop it up and cut it, bro. But you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't stop it and start back up. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
Man. Levi, close the door.
but yeah, I think Cassandra went. I think Cassandra went.
No, but honestly though, effective communication is so important in a relationship.
It is.
You have to get over the fear of confrontation or the fear of, or they should already know. Like all of those assumptions cause way more stress and problems in a relationship. I don't expect Cliff to know shit unless I told him. It's not Cliff's job to read.
He back?
A lot of, no, that's
Oh,
Z.
Z.
Yeah, I agree with that because I mean I admit, bro, before because I was thinking, you know what I'm saying, I came in, you feel me, like I told you, Uncle Phil, you feel me, Uncle Winslow. I'm thinking like it's gonna be this fairy tale thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get the Harriet, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have your kids.
Oh, I'm a Harriet, nigga. I'm a Harriet.
You gonna get your Harriet, you gonna get your Viv or whatever you gonna say, and you just gonna have your kids. They gonna do everything right.
Which of this though? You finna get the black one or the red
The
one?
black one, you know what I'm saying? The black
Viv,
one, you know what I'm
The
saying?
black one. Okay.
But I'm saying the black one was more, you feel me, down to earth. You know what I'm saying? She was cooler. You know what I'm saying? She taught, you feel me? Though she has some quick snapbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Which mom you talking about?
On the black on Viv.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you
I wanted to be like Claire. I wanted to be like
Claire. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Claire. But you think the shit is a whole fairy tale, bro, but you get down to it, bro. And then it wasn't until I went back and started watching like the Cosby Show again, and then all them shows. I'm like,
okay.
Every time in these shows that the Uncle Phil or Cliff Huxtable or something like that is confused on something, or they not or something, or the wife is mad at them, bro, is because they not communicating. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those episodes, they didn't actually say what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then towards the end of the episode is when, okay, Beam, I wanted you to do this. I thought you wanted this. It always ended up like that. You know
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, my bad.
That's what I think. Like at first, I thought it was like a fairy tale thing, bro. It wasn't until I grew up and started like watching the whole episode and looking at it different, like from a grown-up lens, and I'm like, okay, Beam, they didn't communicate. That's why they had problems. So you got to communicate, and then so you don't have a problem. But communication is very, very key, bro. I think you got to be able to just say it, let it be known, and then don't even really care about how the other person take it, because you know what I'm saying. That's what your truth is, bro. Like I said it.
He's back.
My bad about that.
Hey, Cliff, I disagree with you. Say like where they shouldn't care about how they take it. With communication, I feel as if like you should care how somebody's receiving what you're saying. Like you should never be like, oh, I'm just saying some shit. Say some shit. I don't give a fuck how you receive it.
See,
But
that's
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
what I
I
be like.
think
I
But
don't
Fritz,
speak
don't you do
properly, bro.
that?
I don't know, but
No,
I'm
but
saying
you
I
don't
don't
you
speak
don't
properly. That's
You
not what I
just
meant.
say
either.
what
Don't
you
That's
want
not
to
what I
say.
meant.
just because you're trying to
That's not what I
say
meant, bro. What I meant
just because
was
you're trying to protect somebody, like it's either you're gonna be real or you're gonna try to sugarcoat it and try to
what I
put,
meant was
make it
what I meant
sound good
was
for what it is.
speak what you need to say, but don't like you know what I'm saying. Don't be necessarily hung up on that person's you needing a response from that person. You feel me? You just have to let what you feel off, not aggressively or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but you have to be able to let it off and then not necessarily, I don't want to say care what the other person feeling or feel about the situation, but know that okay, being I let it off. Hopefully I set the truth out there. Hopefully you can make an adjustment, or if you need help for the adjustment, you can ask me questions and then we can move forward like that. I'm not saying don't care what the person talking about. I'm saying
Well, sometimes
say
you
it, have your truth, and then hopefully your truth is accepted and y'all can move forward.
You
And
need that shit though, man.
sometimes you do have to sit back and be like, you know what, I do have to just say this and not care how the person feels, because
That's
it
real.
could be a situation where like it's something that's bothering you so bad and it's impacting your relationship with that person, and you know that whatever you say, however you present it, you know it's probably they're gonna get upset or it's gonna be received wrong because it's not a good conversation or anything that somebody would want to hear, but you know it's something that needs to be said. And sometimes you do have to have those conversations without caring what the person thinks or their response.
but that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's not caring. I think it's you know the conversation has to be had, and I know I'm going to say it one way or the other. I'm gonna get a reaction. You know what I'm saying? It's not you don't care. You still care about the person's reaction.
Well,
You
I
can
mean,
apologize for the delivery. You could say, honey,
I mean,
what
it
I'm
don't have
about
to
to
necessarily
say,
be a
I'm
delivery either.
sorry for the way I'm saying it. I haven't found another way to say this, but blah, 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 blah. But I do apologize for my delivery. I'm just not
So
apologizing for what I'm saying.
so
Facts.
I'm agree with what you're saying, Cassandra. I do agree with what you're saying. And I agree with what you're saying, Cliff, too. Because at the same token, there are some hard conversations that you sometimes you don't how to articulate it or whatever or direct it. But to me, hard or not, for me, from my understanding, from hard or not, when you have a hard, even if it's a hard conversation, granted, yes. When you're having a hard conversation, you should not care what a person's saying or speaking because you gotta speak the truth. But what I'm saying is, I want you to speak your truth, even though you have to just speak it. You have to. You gotta get it off your chest, get off all this and third. But as you speak your truth, it should still be some type of line where like I want you to understand what I'm saying. Even if I'm wrong, if I'm loud, I'm this, that, and the third, I still want you to have some type of conversation. Like I want you to understand what I'm saying.
That's
get
the
that.
that's the
I get, but I'm
delivery.
saying I didn't come from that lens of not understanding. Like I assume when you was presenting the information to the person, you was gonna, like Cassandra said, you was not gonna use a tone, or you was gonna explain it. You was gonna come at them as easy as but just straightforward. You know what I'm saying? You coming at with a sense of understanding and trying to make them understand, but you just making sure that you get your point across. Like I thought understanding was already on the table. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna come to you if I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to make you. I'm not gonna come to you and be like, man, you fucking need to change this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna put it to where you need to understand and talk about the shit properly.
Understand what the thing about, to me, since I've been learning and growing, the thing about understanding, the reason when you talk about understanding, the reason you talk about it because you want somebody to understand. Understanding is not something that's given or earned. We're not given or earned, but it's more like earned because we're not earned, but you talk about it because you assume somebody might understand some shit, but just because you feel like they understand some shit doesn't mean they understand some shit.
But I think that's where they would have to. That's where communication comes in. They would have to ask you some questions because, like, I can say it the best I can, and if you don't understand, that's where you got to come to me and be like, "Hey, you feel me? Like, I don't know what you mean by this, or what you mean that I do this. Like, what can you explain?" And then I think that's where it's on the other person to be like, "Okay, being like the way you communicated to me don't work for me. So, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What did you mean by this, or what did you mean by that?" And then that person can elaborate, and that's where I think the communication get. It don't got to be no big serious thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I'm saying this. I don't know if it's gonna be the way you communicate or your communication style. I'm saying this. If you got questions, I'm here to answer, but I'm gonna answer whatever you need to ask, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need to ask me, I'm gonna answer. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to make it as crystal clear as possible to where there's no hiccups or no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Anything you ask me, I'm open. But I'm saying,
let me say one thing. Is
Go ahead.
I think that when you say Cliff that it shouldn't be difficult to have like those hard conversations, you have to realize that for some of us communication is a big thing. You know, like it's an area that we avoid, or it's not an area that we've been trained or developing. So for some of us, when we have like a conversation of like, you know, something as simple for someone else as, you know, I do not like when you keep the toilet up. For some of us, that is a difficult task because we are not accustomed to having conversations. We are accustomed to screaming and yelling our point across. We are accustomed to just, you know, fighting instead of just saying something that comes off as easy. So I don't think communicating is an easy thing. I really don't think so. I think if it was, they would never put it in one of those things that causes divorce. They say money causes divorce, sex causes divorce, or lack thereof causes divorce, and communication or the lack thereof causes divorce. That's how big communication is. You know, it can not even, if we're not even talking about marriage, let's talk about relationships. The person I considered a best friend for many years, I don't consider her a best friend anymore because of the lack of our communication, and it's on both parts. Yeah, it's on both parts.
you ain't everybody's best friend.
You can laugh all you want, but what I'm saying is the truth. It is a lack on both parts. I don't express how I feel to her. She don't express how she feel, and then a lot of times I feel like everything is about her. And I have
what I did to you.
It ain't you, Shirley. Because like you said, you don't have an issue with communication. Like if somebody has an issue with you, Shirley, even if they don't want to talk to you about it, you gonna bring it up and you gonna be like, well, let's talk about it. Whether we're ready to talk about it or not. Let's talk about it.
I know who Cassandra was talking about because I was talking to her about the same shit. So I know what she's talking about.
You was talking to the other person about it. You ain't talking to me because you love to defend her.
No. I'm not trying to defend her. I'm not.
Up.
Right,
Ips.
I was gonna say that I think communication and trust go hand in hand because to piggyback on, like, if somebody is coming to you and they're communicating how they feel with you, and you know that they don't have any ill intent, and you know this person doesn't mean no harm, you have to be able to have that trust factor in them, like trusting to know that they mean you no harm, because then it would be received better. Yeah, it would be received better because you know that person doesn't, you know, mean you no harm. And I feel like that's what is lacking in a lot of when it comes to communication and the way it's received, because we take a lot of things personal instead of just realizing that person is just expressing how they feel. And we take it personal. It hits our ego and all of that. So I think you have to trust and know that person means no harm. And you have to be in a way to receive it. Because if the better you receive it, then the more the person will communicate with you.
Right. And with that being said, oh, my bad. What you saying?
No, I was saying what y'all think about the question that's scrolling at the bottom.
Oh, I didn't even see us. Do men and women have fear of being vulnerable?
I think men definitely have fear of being vulnerable.
Not when you guys were growing up. Where do you think that comes from, though?
When you were growing up, it was frowned upon for you to be vulnerable. That's what I think.
I think women don't allow you the room to be vulnerable. I think it was £4 when you were growing up. Yes, you know, men don't cry, hold it together, keep your things, keep all that together. And then I also feel like men, despite that, sometimes you don't feel comfortable going to your wife. You would rather just go to your boys because the wife don't make you feel comfortable enough to have those conversations with you. And a lot of the times the issue is about them. So you don't want to have that conversation with them because they're not going to receive it well.
That's what I was going to say. Because you want to communicate. But I've learned, I mean, I ain't been around the block, you know what I'm saying? But I done circled 1 or 2 times. But I've learned, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to talk to a woman and tell her about herself, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to tell, hey, You know what I'm saying? Hey,
I mean, I think it's
don't
because
like,
we want
I don't like
facts.
that you
Y'all
do
come
this,
in there
bro.
with emotions. Nobody want emotions. Give me facts, sir. When did I do that, sir?
I
When
think
did I
men
do it?
But the thing about it,
I think
I always say this: when you say come with your facts, even as a man, if we come
Facts
with
is
you
your
with
default.
facts, you will find something to combat our facts.
that's
That's why I
defensive.
think that's why I think it's so
You will
hard
still fight.
for.
You be like, well, I want facts. Okay, well, here's the facts. Well, your facts is bullshit. I'm like, come on. And then we come at you emotionally. We're crying in your hands, nigga. Why you crying? Like,
Oh
Yeah.
no, I like the
man,
crying. I like it.
thank you.
I
Talking about you,
love
talking about
it.
you.
I
thank
love it. Melt in my hands, daddy.
We're
Melt in
talking
my
about
hands.
Okay.
No, I think
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fritz. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
No, it's not. You're angry. Go ahead.
I'm not angry.
Go talk.
I was listening. So go ahead. You can finish.
I
And
forgot
I'll-
what I was gonna say. Well,
It's both though. I
Say
think men have fear of being vulnerable. Women have fear of being vulnerable, each for their own reasons. Because they you know, whether it's the talking stage or like, can I trust you? Or you like the mother niggas that did XYZ to me, so you fear of opening up to him or letting him in. He fearful of what you expect the guy to be, and if you gonna look or judge him if he come crying to you. So I feel like they both have, men and women both have vulnerabilities, and the extent of it goes depending on that individual. But I would certainly think there's a fear. You got to get super, super, super comfortable with somebody to let them in. You feel me?
I think women are, I do agree with you in that talking phase and all that, but I also think that women open up and are more vulnerable quicker than a man. I don't think a woman, from what I experience, once a woman enters like a marriage and all of that, she's going to be open up and be more vulnerable. I feel like men still, no matter what, no matter how long they've been with that woman, I feel like they're still going to have a wall just because men are not supposed to be vulnerable. And that's what you guys were taught.
To me, what I'm hearing right now, what you're saying is ifs and buts with Kenny and Nuts. That's what I'm hearing.
Never heard that one before.
I really feel like you thought that was so cool. Like, I feel
I'm not
like
saying that's trying to be cool, but what you're saying is ifs. It's because the thing about it, you can't say
I'm
that.
speaking for myself. It's
Right,
not
you
ifs or
yourself,
buts.
but once again, the topic is do men and women, not you, not
Generality.
Shirley, not Cassandra, not Fritz, not
So I
Paul,
think
not Z.
majority.
It's not you. We talk about men and women. Now we
So
talking about.
I think majority of women that I know
That's not
that
you.
are
I'm
married
sorry.
are
I'm sorry.
they
Nope.
become more vulnerable than the man, and I stand on that. And I can only speak on what I know and the experiences that I have, because my experiences is what's going to frame my opinion. So
And
those
at
are
the same
my.
time, I never said you was wrong.
So what?
Not one
What
time I
is?
said
What
you
is?
wrong. All I'm saying is,
Why are you so
I
angry?
don't agree that's the consensus of women. Like I don't think that's
What is your experiences that's making you think that women are more vulnerable, or I guess
Because
open,
everything
I guess.
women do, we lead with our emotions and our feelings. You guys are taught to bury your feelings and your emotions. Vulnerability is all about your emotions and your feelings.
So if women are okay, if you say women are more vulnerable or more open quicker, then why are they presented with something that's, I guess, like we brought up you telling them something about themselves, you know what I'm saying? Why are they so quick to freaking be defensive or jump on the fence or get defensive with something like that? You're vulnerable, but I'm vulnerable with this person that I'm with, so I know he's coming with good intention. That should be your initial default. Should be like, okay, Beam, I think he's coming with some good intentions. Let me not trip. But why is it the opposite most of the time?
I think you're right. That's what it should be. But I also think as humans, and anybody criticizes us, we put up a defense. And women, when you come to them and I kind of agree with, I think what Fritz was saying about coming with facts or whatever, you can come to a woman with the facts, but she's going to lead with her emotions, and her emotions is to get defensive because you're criticizing me. Like, you're telling me what I'm doing wrong. So what are we going to do? We're going to get in our feelings. We're going to, because you're having us take a look at ourselves. You're telling us what we're doing wrong. So like, women are not good at receiving that because
they're wrong.
correct. Women are not good at receiving that they're wrong. No, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all.
Okay, because I'm gonna put this question up because this is an interesting thing. I saw this somewhere too, and I was like, you know what? I think this is true, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna bring it up to y'all and let
My
y'all
bad.
see what it
I've been
is.
off for like maybe like 50 seconds. Did anybody change their statement or whatever? So I don't want to like try talking in.
Nope.
Do you think
Consistency is a man's expression of love? Because you was just bringing up a point to where like women is more vulnerable and stuff like that in relationships. I think consistency is a man's. Because when I heard this, I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? This makes because like we don't necessarily fall in love with y'all, you feel me, dog, as quick in the heart and all that shit. But if a nigga is there consistently, bro, like he over there, oh, baby, y'all dating and he's there like 3 times, 4 times out the week, bro. That nigga is, you know what I'm saying? He's starting to show you some. He's showing you okay, being you the one.
No, that's facts.
You know
I concur. I concur on that.
I'm thinking, from my point of view, I'm like, okay, hey, yeah, y'all say y'all get the vulnerable, y'all get the emotions, but like this is how we, I guess this is how we show it. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. Like, you know what I'm saying? The mother niggas ain't, I'm here.
So if you're consistently cheating, then you consistently
look at how you gotta go to the extreme, bro. Look at how you gotta go to
if you are consistently cheating, does that mean you're consistently expressing how much you don't love me?
Yes.
Probably.
Ding,
Probably.
ding, ding.
Yes, probably. Yeah, probably. But
Ding,
I don't know
ding,
why
ding.
you had to go to the extreme with the initial thing, bro. Like you ain't even asked the question. You know what I'm saying? You just went off of the tangent.
I don't know.
You didn't even ask the
That's a
question.
man's expression of love. I don't know.
The agree with me choke.
What do you think, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Generalities, bro. Like, I'm not going off of your personal anecdotal. You and your
Why do
friends
y'all keep thinking I'm talking about person? If I don't know, I don't know. I mean,
but you can look around the world and think general, bro. I don't know freaking what it's like to be a millionaire, but I could pretty much look pretty good. Damn it. You know what I'm saying? It look good.
Look, I don't have anything to make my generality off of because I grew up not seeing a man expressing love. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, I think listen, I'm always gonna bring it back to like the early stages and try to like just take you on that ride. But I think at the beginning of a relationship, you talking to somebody, that's where the consistency starts. The good morning text messages, good morning, beautiful. Hope you slept well. Did you dream about me? He checking up on you every morning. He checking up on you every night. He trying to take you out every weekend. He trying to go on a dinner date, movies with you, and then you start to say, okay, this dude, he feeling you because he's not trying to juggle 2, 3, 4, 5 girls. He got this one that he locked in on. And then you get to marry, then you get the house, and then he's showing up, paying the bills, taking care of the kids. Like, that's how he expresses love. Like, even if he don't say I love you, like you say, like you talked about your dad, how he put a roof over your head and he didn't give you the keys the way he should have gave you the keys. But that there was some form of love there because consistently he came.
He was there. He was there every day, bro. Yeah, he was there every day.
So
I know it was something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he could have been gone. Like he was there. So it's like, I feel like the dude is like, they call it standing in the gap. A dude standing in the gap and he doing like what he needs to be doing regularly, consistently. You can depend on him. That man got love for you.
Yeah, and that's why I'll never take nothing from my pops, bro. I don't never take nothing from him, bro. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know he loved me the best way that he knew how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't know how to be the emotional. He ain't know how to be, you know what I'm saying? Tell me how to move and shit like that. But he knew how to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, then come back home at 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And then be there every day.
Exactly.
That's what.
And that goes to your friends too. The dude say he your dog. Okay, show me you got love for me. If I call you, I need a favor. You coming through? Okay, you could have come through this day. Did you come through the next day? The next time I needed you? Like, if you my dog, sometimes you gonna have to show up. So that's like consistency. True. Like how often are like you showing up when I need you? You picking up when I need you? Like that's love to me. That's love. Somebody's always there.
Yeah. So it's basically a yes to that question from the men. It's a yes.
Yeah, but Shirley threw me off. The consistency with cheating, though. You threw me all the way off with that. Like,
she's starting off the question with the wrong shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's still a form of consistency.
Way left, bro. It is still consistency, bro. But you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to start off on the negative. Yeah, you consistent. Like if they consistently doing that, of course they don't fuck with you, y'all. You gonna say, of course not. But
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I'm
just
putting it on the
saying.
positive light.
So any consistent behavior from a guy demonstrates his love.
I think any consistent
Or the
behavior
lack
from anybody,
thereof.
bro.
Or the lack
Or anybody,
thereof.
yeah. Or the lack thereof, yeah.
Yeah.
If a nigga ain't hitting you up like that, if you a female, he ain't hitting you up like that, or you messaging
true.
him and he hitting you later on, you feel me, dog? You know where you
Yeah.
stand, bro. Okay, that
That's
nigga,
true.
you know, he got me as a slot, you know what I'm saying?
That's very
But if you-
true. Because that's what, you know, when you're younger and you're talking to dudes, that's what you base off of, like how much they like you is like how engaged they are in the conversation and how often they hit you up. That's true.
Good morning, good night. How did you sleep?
You know,
You
remember
don't
at
care
one
about none
point
of
where
that.
you thought it was lame when somebody would communicate with you that much? Like, why does he always ask me how am I doing?
Damn, the
Da,
nigga
da, da.
thirsty, nigga. Yo, thirsty ass out of here.
Until you get that one
Get
where
your
you
thirsty
message,
ass out.
you get that one that message you every now and again. I used to talk to somebody and I would message them, and then this man would not respond to me for 7 days. I'm like,
Damn, who?
I don't understand this. Like,
He said a what?
And then he wouldn't respond for like 7 days, and we in the same city.
You know what slot you was in, bro. You got to, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, like if I'm hitting up a girl, you know what I'm saying? I hit you up. You don't hit me back 7 days later. I'm like, hey,
No,
please,
slide
bro,
up
I don't
in.
need to talk to you, bro. Like, we good.
But he
We
said
good.
opposite.
Hit me
See,
up when
this
you ready,
is
bro.
why
We can
I
knock some
guess
shit down.
communication is just flop for me, because if you say that and then you tell me that I'm just not a person who want to talk on the phone or whatnot. Sometimes I just want to
Lying.
communicate with you. I mean,
7
obviously,
days,
I didn't marry
Cassandra.
him. I
7
didn't
days.
marry him, so clearly I picked up.
You married him?
I said I didn't
Can,
marry you.
can, 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 I,
7
can I
days,
ask a
bro,
quick
on the
question?
Instagram generation, bro. Facebook generation, text message generation,
It
bro.
was
7 days.
pre-Instagram. It was
Doesn't matter.
pre-Instagram.
We all have phones, bro. Everybody have phones.
Yeah.
When we was
Can
on
I,
this
can I
shit
ask a quick
24/7.
question?
Oh,
Go ahead, bro.
So, what is consistency enough to you? Whereas that's what it matters. What is consistency? Because we talk about consistency, but what is consistency? What is it?
but that's kind of like the same thing I was going to say. Like, because just because you consistent, does that mean that you're, you standing on what you stand on? You are what you say you are just because you're consistent. Because a man could be consistent. I could call you 24/7. You hungry? I could say that 24/7. But does that mean he love you because he's consistent like that, or does that mean he's being faithful to you because he does that? Like, I don't know. I'm confused. So let me know.
It's just
That's the reason
think-
why I asked.
I think
Because we
we
talk about
added extra to
consistency.
it.
What is consistency?
I think
So,
we
but
added
once
extra to
again,
the
for
question,
every
bro.
individual, consistency is going to be different. Because
I think
one person might
consistency
be
is
about
consistency, bro.
how much
Like,
you hug
consistency
me,
is
how much you
being there.
touch me, how much you kiss me, how much you do this. Another person be like, how much you call me, how much times you do this, how much you do that, how many times you bring flowers. So once again, I hear
Nah,
consistency, but what is consistency?
See, you talking more about like expression of the love. You know what I'm saying? Calling, talking, showing flowers. You know what I'm saying? The consistency.
Expression of the love is what it is. We're talking about consistency. So once again, listen to what I said. I said, what is consistency to you? To all of
The
us,
consistency
whatever.
is
Everybody on the podcast.
consistency.
What is consistency?
Are you talking about like what's
Consistency is
the
consistency.
definition?
Oh, our
It's a word.
opinion.
It means
No,
there's no
I'm not.
difference to
I'm
it.
not
It's a
talking about
word.
definition. I'm saying to individually. Because for example,
do you
consistency to me could be
consider?
like, as long as you have sex with me every
Oh,
day,
okay.
that's
I got
consistency.
you.
We're
What is
good.
So it's your
consistency to you?
opinion of
consistency.
your
Okay.
opinion of
Got you.
consistency.
Right. So to me, what is consistency to you? What
What
makes
is it?
How do
consistency
you
You
how do you
answer
show
worthwhile?
first.
your consistency?
You answer
How do you show
first,
your
Britt.
consistency?
You ask me how I show my consistency?
No, I'm saying that's the question you asking, right? Is how do you show your
Yeah,
consistency?
Pretty much. To me, whatever your consistency is, and that's what you value, how do you show it and what is it? Because it might not be sex every day. Because you could love the shit out your husband. Because I think a couple of us married in here. You could love the shit out your husband. You could fuck him every day. But are you consistently every day showing that you love him? Does he know that every day he wakes up, he feel loved,
Well, I think
appreciated?
the question
true.
says, is it a man? Is
It's an
consistency
expression of
a
love
man's
for a man.
expression? So what is y'all definition as men? What is y'all definition of consistency?
I would say this. I grew with all women, so my different generation might be different from most niggas. I'm not gonna lie. Because to me, my definition of consistency is when I look at consistency, I look at love. How do you love me every day? How do I feel loved every day?
So what's your expression of love? What is it?
My expression of love to me is like I will wake up every day, tell you I love you. I will kiss you every day. I will try to do I will put certain things in your life to show you that no matter what, I got you. Even if I do bullshit, you never have to question if I love you, because I love you. That's how I show. I don't know how to articulate. I don't know the right words or whatever terminology, whatever we call it. But to me, it's my love language I would say is more my love language type of shit. So to me, I'm like, okay, I love you. Bet. Are we waking up every day together? Yes. Are we kissing before I leave the house? Do I kiss you? Yes. I'm a drinker, so you're my lady. Do we take a shot every morning before I leave the house? Yes.
That's consistent for him, bro. Like, that's consistent for you, bro. That's your consistent.
I'm fucking very persistent about certain things. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to be. That's what I'm asking. Because once again, like,
yeah, mine is way simpler.
We can say this shit, but we can say this shit, but what do you actually do to show that?
Mine is way more simpler than that, bro. My consistency is: do I wake up every day, bro, and then show you that I love you? You know what I'm saying? Do I put in the work? You know what I'm saying? Wake up.
What's the work? What's the work?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Make sure you got gas in your car. Make sure your car is clean. You know what I'm saying? Make sure hey, you feel me? You wake up, you feel me? What you need today? You know what I'm saying? What's your schedule looking like? What's going on? Okay, being like, hey,
I like
on
that.
the weekends, on Thursday, Friday, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When I'm about to be on my weekend, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you want to go out on Friday? You feel me? Have a quick little lunch or brunch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Little shit that you do. And then be consistent.
Never saying that y'all not
and I'm not even
it.
saying nothing about
what it
it
was.
or nothing like that. I'm just saying I do, like, as a husband, I feel like my duty is to make sure, okay, being my house is straight. You know what I'm saying? So I need to ask everybody, even my kids too.
I like that.
Hey, what you got going on? What's going on in school?
Fine.
Okay,
Being.
Remember,
and I'm gonna stick beside.
Y'all come first before the kids. Not saying your kids don't matter, but the moment y'all lose yourself is the moment you lose your kids too.
Them kids don't matter. Put your man before them kids. I tell they do matter. Let me not say that. But I 100% believe that the man, you gotta love your man, because that's how the kids know how to love and be in a relationship themselves. We all sit on these calls and talk about how we never got the love. We never were shown how to love or shown the right, role models.
Right.
So
I grew up with
our kids. And then if the mom and dad is happy in the house, it trickles down to the kids. Like
exactly. Yep.
The mom and dad
it does.
And who gets unhappy first? The woman. So you got to make sure, bro, she's straight. If you wake up every morning, bro, and be like, hey, bro, you good? You good?
What you need?
All right, bro. You make sure you ain't got no problem, bro. The house ain't gonna have a problem no more, bro. You make sure she good, bro.
I won't say that, but I hear you, but I won't say that. I'm gonna
say that, bro. God damn it, bro. Because if she ain't good, bro, the whole house ain't good, bro.
It's your
podcast. But Cliff, that is
you can say what the fuck you want.
Consistency to me. That's what you described. Waking up every day, asking the question, what you doing on the weekends with washing the cars, putting gas in it. Like you doing that regularly, on time, don't miss a beat. Like that's consistency. So when you ask the question, do you think consistency is a man's expression of love? For me, it's like that's spot on. Like that would tell me if a man like fucking with you.
I don't gotta tell you I love you every day. I don't gotta say I love you every day, bro. You see, I show you I love you every day, bro. Making sure you got, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily making sure you got food on the table and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But making sure, but at the same time, I'm gonna add on top of my dad, you know what I'm saying, which was a straight provider. Hey, I'm actually gonna care about what my wife's thinking about. Hey, you feel me? You good? Hey, how you feeling, bro? Like, you all right? Are we good?
Yeah. That's why if y'all do one thing out of this consistent mode, like let's say y'all switch it up, we be like, oh no, what's going on? What is going on? They're doing something different.
That's
Can't put gas in my car today. What's going on?
Girls notice that pattern, bro. That's what I'm saying. They be lying and thinking it's intuition, bro. They ain't no damn intuition, bro. You slipped off the consistency. You was
Yeah.
doing something consistent, bro, and you slipped off, and then now they talk about intuition, bro. Ain't no damn intuition, bro. I fucked up somewhere.
Good point. Good point.
My intuition told me you ain't put gas in the car.
Mhm.
Okay,
You
sure.
putting gas in that other bitch car.
That's where my gas money going. I think consistency, what Cliff just described, is learning how to love your significant other the way that they need to be loved. Period.
Yeah.
So for Shirley, Shirley feels love when gas is in her tank. Shirley feels love when Cliff really knows what's going on with me. He cares about what's going on with me. Every woman is different, you know. For the most part, every woman is different. Because for me, the way my spouse shows me that his consistency or his form of love is, if I get the new sneakers that I've been talking about, oh baby, we on a roll. What do you need from me today?
That mean he was listening though.
He was consistent because I consistently talk about the same thing. I always talk about a bag, I talk about a car, and I talk about sneakers. So
The
if
girl
I
said
see
he's
those things
consistent
are
because I
rolling
was
in,
consistent on telling him, bitch.
I'm consistently doing that. But I think men want to receive love consistently like that as well. Because with my significant other, or even the ones I've had before, because I've dated people, y'all know I don't believe in the whole horoscope stuff, but I do believe that people who are born in the certain months, you do have similar characteristics.
So you believe in horoscopes?
I don't believe in horoscopes, bro.
Softly. She believes in it somewhat.
But I've dated people before and ended up marrying someone who's born in the month of November. And those kind of men, they kind of love the same exact thing. They want you to be very sexual with them. And they don't care how, well, I don't want to say how often, because they care. They count. I ain't never met somebody who count like a November man.
He's a Scorpio?
I don't know, Shirley. I'll tell you the day, and you gonna tell me what
Scorpios are. No, it's not. No, but you're right. They are very
That is one way to show them that you consider they love affection. I don't care if
But
you
I
just
think
rub
that's-
their neck.
But that's what I'm saying.
how you show.
I don't think that's Scorpio, man. I don't think that's Virgo, man. I don't think that's Taurus, man. I don't think that's Capricorn, man. I think that's every man, bro. Y'all like, you feel me? Y'all like when your man come behind you, you feel me, dog, and hug you from the back and kiss you on the neck or kiss you on the cheek and say I love you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Niggas like that shit too.
You want me to hug you from the back?
No, thank you. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Niggas,
You want a man
like
wants
that
to be
affection shit
touched.
too.
A man
niggas
wants
like
to
that
be
affection too. You know what I'm saying?
You know they
okay,
said-
bean, you know what I'm saying?
You know, they said one of my homeboys was telling us, he said, I don't want to mess up the number, but it's something between 70 and 90% of men are not touched daily. No form of touch. They don't get
Why
a
y'all
kiss,
think we so
they
rough?
don't get a hug.
Y'all, why y'all think we
and
so
that's
tough
probably
and
why
hard?
their hands are not held. So ladies, take your opportunity. I don't care if you slap his butt or kiss his
And all
neck
it takes
or
is a
hold
quick
his
little
hand.
touch, bro. That man probably going through hell in his mind
Or
right
cuddle.
now, bro.
Yeah,
Damn, these
or
pills
cuddle
creeping
in
up
the
on me,
middle of
bitch.
the night.
Goddamn, you feel me? And then you
But
come
he
up
need
and
to
just
speak up.
hug the
I
man,
can't
you feel
read
me?
his
Give him a
mind.
kiss, bro.
No,
You feel
but
me?
we
He be like,
talking
you know
about
what?
it
I
now,
got
though,
it.
Shirley.
I
We
got it.
talking about it. Your husband is saying it.
No, I'm
He's
serious.
just not saying it. I think you're affectionate with him, but either way, I think it's a dying too for women to be affectionate with a man because we're accustomed to it being sold that we should be the one receiving the affection. So for a woman to be able to openly like kiss her man and he didn't do anything to get this kiss, like you kiss him before he leaves the house, or you say, oh, you look really nice tonight, or you smell really nice. Those things really do light a man's world up.
That'll make a nigga go out in the world and be like, "Boy, I slap fire to you, nigga. My wife just told me she loved me. Bitch. I'll kill you. Nigga, I'll kill you." That'll put a nigga on the top of the mountain, bitch. Like, bro,
Yeah,
man.
if you listen.
Hey, I'm on top of the
Listen.
world, bitch. Can't nobody touch me.
I think that's why these ugly men winning right now. Okay, they winning.
All I want to say is relationships are hard.
Very.
As hard as we make them, bro.
A lot of work.
Nah, it's hard, Cliff.
But communication will make it better.
I agree.
I think a lot of people can't talk to each other, bro. To be honest.
That's something like I think, well, me personally, that's something that I had to learn. And sometimes you know, like, Don't quote me, but it may not be something like it could just be something simple. You know what I'm saying? Like just the tone, how you say things, just how your face looks, your hand movement, like that all play into place. Like, but you should be able with your partner because that's somebody that you
Nah,
marry,
bro.
that's somebody you spouse with. You should be able to communicate with them. You should be able to be open up and be like, "Damn, babe, what's wrong? Like, what's going on?" Like, France, I'm not picking on you. I swear, I'm not picking on you. But that situation, like, it could have just been like, "Damn, babe, like T, I mean, I know you probably hungry, but like besides that, like what's up?" And then like with you, like she may not know. You think she know, but honestly, some women be so oblivious about it. They be like, man, he's straight. You know, like we think that you good because you always say, "Oh, babe, I'm good," or I'm straight. So we may not know that, but you may feel some type, and you should be able to like, you know what, babe, I do feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like I do feel this way. Or babe, I think what's wrong with you? Like you okay? What you know what I'm saying? What can I do to make it better? Not saying that you didn't, you know what I'm saying, like you're not trying to make it better, but to figure it out, like what's really going on. Because I'm pretty sure like it wasn't just food. Like food ain't gonna make
I
a bitch
really don't
happy.
believe it. I agree, Fufu. I don't
Hey,
think
but
it
it
was.
depends.
It
Y'all ever
wasn't
seen
just food.
y'all
It
ever seen
wasn't just
White Man Can't Jump? Y'all ever
What
seen White
chicken?
Man Can't Jump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With where Rosie Perez was like, "Oh, baby, she thirsty," and then Buddy went and got her a glass of water, and she was like, "Oh man, when I tell you I'm thirsty, that don't mean I want a glass of water. That means I want you to hold me, and I'm thirsty." You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the girls is talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Oh, I'm not hungry necessarily, bro. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to express
And
something.
don't
I think that's
crazy.
where y'all need to communicate better, though. If y'all got something going on, you feel me? Y'all need to say something. You can't tell me when I ask you hungry, you say yeah, and then that's the end of it.
So, quick question. Can I ask a quick question? Quick question. My bad. I'm not trying to interject. I'm like that. I'm not trying to disrespect y'all. But we've been talking a lot. But one thing I want to ask is, because you know, what I mean, me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not married. But most people in this group, in this chat that we're talking about with this podcast, is married people. So, when did you know you had the safe space to be like, you know what? Let's talk about this and this and that third.
Therapy.
That's a good
Therapy.
question. It wasn't good. Listen, it took a while. It took a while. It took a while, bro. It took a while.
And me and Cliff, this June or July is gonna make it 10 years, and we started therapy last year, August. So like 8 years.
8 of them years was just, you feel me, dog? Hey, knuck if you buck, bitch.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, yeah, I hear you. But the thing about it is, I'm trying to learn. Because the thing about it, I'm not married yet, and we're in the podcast, we're talking, we're asking questions. So I want to ask questions. So I think that's the whole purpose of this whole podcast. Is how can we know they go?
Right. And then think for I think like with you, because as your sister, honestly, because me and Zeke, whatever, but me and Zeke go to therapy now. And something that I learned is that the things that we think we know about ourselves, we really don't know. And it's not just because somebody did it to you like now or recently. It's about our past, bro. Like what we've seen in our past that causes that.
Trust me, I know.
And like that reaction that we do, the things that we do. So we have to think about it when you say like what causes us, like what made us think about it or whatever. It's because it's like our therapist made us think about, or my therapist, let me not speak for nobody else, but my therapist made me realize like I had past trauma that I never fixed or I never dealt with.
Realize.
Be able to communicate. Like, I don't have to scream or be like, oh, this and that to get my point across. Now it's like, okay, well, it's a better way to do things about it. And it takes time. You're not ready to accept it because let me not say you're not ready, but once you get married, it's like you gotta be ready to compromise and you gotta be able to like.
Once again, that was my question, baby. I hear what you're saying, but my question was like, what I do? I'm asking, when you got married, what did you know when you said I did what I do, and you did that in the third? How did you move forward from that? And then how did you learn each other more?
I don't think the
That's what
marriage.
I'm asking.
Married, you get married. Because if you asking if like when you get married, it's gonna be like it's not, bro. Like it's
not a time set
yeah,
like,
it's like
oh,
you just gonna go into it, you be yourself, bro. But like for the most part, oh my bad.
Trust me, at the end of the day, I already know. I know it's not gonna be the same thing. That's why I asked, because y'all who is married, that's why I'm asking the question. What about it when that time changed and the dynamics changed? What was it? And how did you handle it? How did you deal with it?
Like something has to make it change. Because for the most part, bro, like if you getting married, like you gonna get married to the person you married, and then y'all gonna look at each other like ain't nothing wrong with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like you thinking ain't nothing wrong with me. You feel me? Like it's something gonna make you have to, you feel me, look at yourself and be like, oh, Beam, nah, that's off. Or something that gotta make you look at her and be like, oh, Beam, that's off. And then that's when the change is gonna happen, bro. Like without that, like human beings, bro, we walk through life, bro, we ain't gonna change shit, bro, because we think we good. Like everybody think they good how they is, bro. Yeah, everybody think they good how they is, bro. Like nobody think there's nothing wrong with them. Like we're not thinking that's something I'm walking around the world and something's wrong with me. Until somebody come and show you a Beam, bro, like what you did is fucked up. And then you be like, nah, bro, that's not fucked up. Is it fucked up? Damn, that might be fucked up. You feel me? Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna make the change. But until somebody show you that's something wrong with you, bro, you ain't gonna never change shit. So somebody in my marriage, somebody had to show me something was wrong with me. And then that's when the change happened. And then from there, I just kept on changing. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, Beam, now I know how to see what's wrong with myself without even knowing somebody showing me.
So is that why you're doing therapy now?
Well, I do therapy now because me and my wife, we went through something, bro, and then you know what I'm saying.
I hear you. But once again, that's not my question. My question is, are you doing therapy now because not because you did some bullshit or you fucked up with some shit, but did you have to do therapy to know that you want to marry your wife or be strong with your wife? That's what I'm asking.
I knew I wanted to marry my wife. I'm doing therapy because my wife showed me something that I didn't know was wrong with me, and I'm doing therapy now to find out the other shit that's wrong.
You're doing therapy because you want to stay married. You want to stay married.
No,
you want to fight. You want to fight. You want to learn how to fight correctly for your marriage.
And Cassandra, thank you for saying that. Because you said exactly what I want. What's the fight?
Well, no, you can't really say that because that's not what he said.
That's not his reason.
He said that he was taking therapy because of certain reasons.
The shit that's wrong with me, my wife showed me what was wrong with me.
I never said nothing.
The shit that's wrong with me, and I want to know what else is wrong with me.
So you're in therapy to better yourself. You're in therapy to better yourself.
Once again. Stop. Listen to what I asked.
But wait first. Before you say that, once you're married, like that's his rib. That's him. That's his significant other.
I'm doing it for the marriage. I'm not doing it for the marriage. No. With or without the marriage.
It's not.
I didn't mention nothing. See, no, you see what you didn't. You're trying to put a marriage into what I asked the question to. That's not my question. I didn't ask him that. So don't be like, oh, well, you was doing this. No, I didn't ask that, baby. I didn't ask that.
No, go ahead.
What was your question, bro?
Your original question, I'm saying, but go ahead.
Right. Listen to what I asked. Okay. So my original question was, since this, that, and the third, you did this, that, and the third, how have you moved? You said what you said. I hear you. Thank you.
That was the original question, Fritz. That was not what you asked, bro.
Yeah,
that was not what you asked, bro.
What I asked?
What you asked was, hey,
rewind the tape.
That's what I'm about to
do. When you got married, what was it that made you say that you was in the mindset and frame or whatever to get married? That was the original question.
Hey, I said therapy wasn't what did it. I said therapy was not what did it. I got married because I love my wife. I said I did therapy because my wife showed me something that was wrong with me. And then I did therapy to try to figure out what else was wrong with me. It don't got nothing to do with my marriage. It don't got nothing to do with nothing else, bro. I'm trying to figure out what's else wrong with me so I can move better as a person.
You're proving my point. I asked from why did you get married? And you're trying to tell me about all the other shit that's wrong with you
You asked me
And why you got married?
Yeah,
I
why
said,
did you get
Ask
married?
why did you get married?
What is he
Why
talking? What are you
why
talking
did you
about,
get
bro?
married was your second question. That was not
That's
your
what I'm
first
saying. That's not
question.
your original question.
That was not your first question.
You got
Your
married
first
because of
question
love.
was about
Okay.
your first question was about why we go to therapy or something because we were talking about
Exactly.
therapy. It wasn't about why did we get married.
Okay, you're right. I apologize.
Therapy look good on you, foo-foo girl. I hear the growth in your voice, honey.
Front, you started because when we started this journey in 2022, you were supposed to look into therapy, baby.
Nah, I ain't
Because
starting
I
no
know when I
therapy.
first asked this question, I asked all them. I said I'm one of the few people that's not married in the chat, so I asked questions to lead to that. So that's why I asked the question I asked.
But in general, Fritz, because most of us have taken there, I've never gone to therapy with my husband outside of premarital counseling. We have not gone to couples therapy. He's not interested in that. There's nothing I can really do concerning that. So I go to therapy for Cassandra and I work on Cassandra. Prayerfully one day he's interested in going to therapy for himself. And if he doesn't, I'm not gonna push it on him. I don't believe it's gonna work that way.
Shirley do hers by herself. I do mine by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it to fix myself. That's why I'm like, bro, like, there's no connection between my wife or nothing. Because if I was out on these streets single, I would still be doing therapy because I'm trying to get better for myself, bro. And then
but marriage therapy is different from
But
personal.
we're
not doing marriage
shit,
therapy. We're doing single therapy. We're not doing marriage therapy. That's what I'm saying. We individually therapy.
Did you do therapy beforehand? Before you was married? Did you do therapy by yourself to fix yourself? Before you got married? Did you do that? Like, was that a thing? Was that even a concept?
By saying we don't know what's wrong with us, so I didn't do therapy because I didn't think I thought everything was straight with me, just like everybody else in the world.
Right.
Until my wife.
So once again, you did therapy with your wife. Okay. I know.
No. Can I say something?
It could have been anybody. It could be anybody, bro. What are you talking about?
Can we go to the next question, please?
Can we anybody, bro? I realized something clicked in me and made me realize.
Can I say something?
It's for the betterment. I agree with you. It's for the betterment.
Like,
can I say something really quickly? When it comes, hopefully this answers Fritz's question, but if it doesn't, I really do think it's going to answer his question, but I don't think he's going to say it's going to answer his question. But nevertheless,
exactly.
When it comes to therapy, when it comes to therapy, Fritz, and the reason why Cliff went to therapy, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Cliff. What marriage does, and Fufu and Zeke, you can tell me if I'm wrong. France, you can tell me if I'm wrong too. What marriage does
right here, but you saying that I go to therapy too. I have a therapist.
No. Fritz,
so don't say like I don't go to therapy. I go to therapy.
I was talking about something about marriage. I'm talking about something about marriage. Just give me a moment to explain myself. What marriage does, marriage daily puts a mirror of yourself in front of you. That's what marriage does daily. So when you're with someone and you're with someone in covenant, you spend days in on days out with this person. You promise to be with this person and better and good and bad. It doesn't matter. Now you have a mirror in front of you every day, pointing out good or bad. Period. So when this mirror, sometimes this mirror is going to bring out stuff on your back that you don't normally see because we don't look at our back every day. With that being said, Cliff's mirror
I'm not articulate as you. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Cliff's mirror brought out something that he did not realize was an issue. When his mirror brought that out, his mirror said, well, this is how I think we can get this situation resolved. Let's try therapy. That's how they originally went to therapy. Now, the therapy that they're in is personal. It's something that there's things in depth of them that they have to deal with. I'm not saying you're not in therapy, Fritz. I'm not saying you're not dealing with those things. But sometimes your combativeness is showing like, are you really paying attention in therapy?
But you know what I'm saying? I started therapy. I started therapy by myself first, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying the therapy was. I was getting better for myself first.
All I did was ask questions. I ask questions.
I don't know why I be trying to argue with you.
That's why I ask questions.
I don't know why I do it.
But
I don't
okay,
think anybody can be in a relationship unless they know how to be their best selves. Because however your relationship is, whatever state your relationship is right now is a reflection of you and your partner. It's an internal reflection. So until you get right with yourself internally, you cannot show up as your best self as a father, as a mother, as anything. So therapy, why I continue therapy outside of couples counseling is because I want to be the best version of myself every single day.
Things, bro.
I concur.
Everyone
Way
I'm
for
in
me to be the
relationship
best
with.
version of myself is for me to learn the roots of why I behave the way I behave. So that's what therapy does for me. It tells me the roots of why I think this way, why I feel this way, and why I act this way. Therapy shows the why. So if I know the why, then I can control that behavior. I can consciously think to act differently, to feel differently, and to speak differently because I know why. So that's all for me. That's what therapy is.
I think that's what it is if you do it right. If you're doing it right, that's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
I concur. I agree. So once again, I wasn't trying to be combative. So like, because I was like, "Oh, you trying to be combative?" I'm not trying to be combative. I asked a question. The fact
Your
that you
nature
keep
is
talking about therapy.
combative, my love. Your nature is combative in conversations like this. I'm just saying.
Okay. Once again, all I did was ask questions. Because once again, I'm trying to learn. I know I have a bad thing. So once again, I do go to therapy. I do talk to people. So therefore, I'm like, fuck, how can I fix myself? And then one thing about me, I realized I hate asking a hard question. So therefore, I know it sucks asking a hard question. So I'm gonna ask a hard question. Especially now, like I'm now the fact that I'm with my family, my friends, whatever, the people I love, and then it's a hard question I could ask. Even my best friend Cliff. I say, Cliff, dog, like, what's up? What you think about me, dog? Because I want to understand why he's my best friend, but why he's my best friend. Because you don't have to be my best friend, but you choose. Right.
I think it's good to ask the questions.
That's what I'm saying.
Seek the knowledge and the answers, but I also think you need to be receptive to those responses because it seems like, and I could be wrong, but it seems like when you receive a response that you don't agree with, that's when that combativeness jumps in. You're not going to always get the response or you're not going to always hear what you want to hear. So if you're truly asking questions to seek to learn, then you have to be able to receive the responses and understand that you might not agree, and that's okay. That's the whole point.
I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that.
And you 100% right. So once again, I am asking questions I want to ask. Do I receive it the right way right away? I probably don't. I'm still human. I'm still man. Like, let's be real. I still got flaws. But once again, I'm trying to learn and grow. Now, with my learning and growing, is it going to be easy? Is it going to be like 1, 2, 3? No, it's not. Let's be real. That's not how you learn. That's not how you grow.
I think the first step of learning and growing is being self-aware. So you have to know your flaws, and then you have to accept your flaws. Even when the people closest to you are telling you what your flaws are, don't get defensive. Actually accept those and then ask that why do you feel that way, or why do you think I'm like this? What am I doing to show this thing? And then
my bad. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but am I not asking those questions? That's the reason I'm asking those questions.
You're asking the questions, Fritz, but then you get defensive in the response. That's what I'm saying. So when people are telling you about yourself, you get defensive. And I want you, that's like normal. Naturally, people get defensive when they are
You don't want to hear about yourself.
You don't want, But if you're truly trying to learn and to grow, you have to accept what people, the closest people to you that you know mean you no harm, are telling you. And then you have to figure out the why. Why am I behaving this way? Why do they feel like that? Why do I make them feel like that? What am I doing? And that's when you have that internal reflection. But that's the only way you're going to change. You can't get defensive and combative when they tell you, especially if you know they mean no harm. Like Fufu's your sister, she's the closest person to you. She should be able to tell you anything about yourself, and you should take it for what it is, because who else knows you better than Fufu?
And that's where it clicked. You feel me? I wasn't like that before. You know what I'm saying? It clicked with Shirley. You know what I'm saying? No other person like these flaws been there. You know what I'm saying? They've been there everywhere. You know what I'm saying? My whole life, I've been the same nigga. But it clicked with Shirley because I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe I love her more or whatever. But like she said, okay, she said something about me that I've heard before. You know what I'm saying? But it clicked with her, and I was like, okay, I'm willing to change this shit. And then from there, I was like, okay, Bean, what else about me I need to change, bro? You know what I'm saying? Let me look at myself, bro. Let me hold a mirror to myself,
Like I
bro.
said,
See what's up.
I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And once again, I love the platform that you created, Cliff, because once again, it's just a learning experience. Am I perfect every day, every time we talk? We're not. I'm not.
No one is.
But at the same time, I'm trying to learn and I'm hearing. So if I'm trying to go in this and the third, not saying I'm not, once again, this is not me being combative or nothing like that. It's just, I'm like, damn, you're right. I probably did take it the hard way. Maybe I did. But I'm like, damn, you're right. Because once again, I'm still listening. I'm still like, damn, I didn't realize that. Because once again, I'm trying to learn and grow. That's it.
Me too, man.
That's it. I'm just trying to learn and grow, man. Like, so,
You ain't growing, you
so
done.
therefore, I love the platform you have. And to me, would be able, I grew out women. I was the only man in the house. I ain't, you know what I mean? So, like, there's certain platforms where I could be able to talk and be myself or just even express my feelings. I love the fact I could do that now. Because before, there was none of this for us. There was none of this for us. Growing up, we didn't have this. If you was wrong, you was wrong. Worst case scenario, you gotta get beat up. Your mama beat you. Your daddy beat you. You didn't know what the fuck going on. You kept it rolling. So, if I'm wrong, I appreciate you guys telling me that, Fritz. I hear what you're saying, but you're wrong. I appreciate that. Because I'm
right,
just trying to learn. Right.
Well, you know, I ain't got no
Wrong
problem
is
telling
right.
you.
You just hit the roundabout long enough. You know what I'm saying? Wrong is right, and you just gotta keep on going around that turn.
About
You
you.
feel me?
That's why you my bed. You don't give a
But
fuck.
on the
You
bottom,
always tell me
on the
I'm
bottom
wrong.
of the screen, it says solution. So I think
Fonz,
solution mean what you gonna do about it. Like, are you really gonna change
What do
what
we
you
do?
receive?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you know,
What's the solution to that?
I
are you?
am trying to change that. That's the whole purpose we have this. Because I want to change. If I'm not saying that I'm doing like criminal crimes or whatever. But if mentally I didn't realize some shit, and from this podcast I could learn and grow from one thing, that is a solution. I realized it. Think about this.
you spilling it.
If I didn't realize it and now I realize it, I already grow from this. So therefore, what's this called? Resolution. My resolution already resolved because I
What
recognize
is it?
something.
Not quite yet, bro. Not quite yet. The resolution is not resolved until you know what I'm saying. You realize it, and then you making the right actions consistently. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Until
talk
there's
about
a change,
consistency,
there
bro.
is no
Like when you
resolution.
making the
Until
same
there is
action
a change.
consistently and not doing the other one, that's when you okay. Being the resolution is solved.
But what is the change you're trying to make? What is the problem? I see solution, but what's the problem?
No, I'm talking about solution. I put solution up for the whole podcast of like communication, bro. But we talking about his thing.
Honestly,
Right?
for me,
Fonz, when you gonna go to therapy, bro? I'm not
Listen,
gonna
man,
get
I'm
off
not
that.
Don't
even
force
going. I'm not even
friends.
going.
You gotta be ready. Don't let nobody force you. If you're not
I'm
ready,
kidding.
right?
No, but
I
Don't.
wasn't ready for
it's
years.
a goal.
I
I'm
wasn't
just
ready for
trying to
years.
keep him accountable. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
force you. I'm just trying to keep you accountable, Fonz. I'm just
I
trying to
certainly
keep
want to
Don't force
do
yourself,
it.
dog. If
I
you're not
want to
ready, you're not
do
ready.
it. It's a goal of mine, and it will get done. I can't give you a timeline right now, but I will do it.
The only
No,
thing
I
would
don't want.
say
Okay, let me correct myself. I don't want you to feel
All
like
he
I'm
got is his
forcing you.
words in his
I am
mouth,
not
and he don't
forcing you,
break into
Fonz.
no.
I'm just trying to be because the
accountability.
purpose
No,
of
yeah,
be
yeah.
accountable.
I'm
Because you
glad that
did
you
mention it.
reminded me that I said that. I'm glad you reminded me
Yes.
that I said that.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and I'm
will say,
certainly.
you have to be mentally ready to learn
that
about yourself,
And dig up
You gotta
self.
not
you
easy.
gotta
it's gonna be
kill the old
hard. It's
nigga,
gonna be
dog.
hard.
I tell Shirley all the time, bro. You feel me? I killed the old nigga, dog. You feel me? Yeah, you gotta be able to break down that old person. You feel me? That you was, and be like, oh, I'm looking at that nigga, and I don't like what I see, bro. I
don't like him.
this about him, this about him, this about him, but I could throw all away. I could throw this away, throw that away. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to kill your old self, bro.
Bro, my wife told me the other day, bro, we was talking, and she said I started giving her solutions. And it was the first time she said to me, she said, "Babe, I'm not looking for no solutions right now. I just want to vent." And I was like, "Damn!" Like I've never heard
Sometimes
that
you gotta
before.
let them talk.
And I was like,
You gotta let them talk
shit.
sometimes.
I was like, I respect that.
That's
And I was
solid.
like, okay,
That's
but she
solid.
had never like said that to me before.
Mhm.
And I'm always
Yeah.
like, bro, you say something to me, I'm finding
I'ma
solutions.
solve it.
That's how I'm wired.
Yeah. You a
The fact
man.
that she said that to me, I took 2 steps back and I was like, bro, I love that. Like, wow. Like I ain't gotta waste some time coming up with solutions. And you actually
She just
find a way
want to talk my ear off. I don't really got.
Yeah, so I know like she had to do some kind of reading or something she did told her like, yo, just let me approach him by saying this. And I was like, wow. And it's been 8 years, 8 years married. She had never said that to me before last week.
And you thinking that you feel me, you still gonna be the same, you know what I'm saying? She don't know you, nigga. I'm telling you, I told you that from the beginning, bro. She changing and she don't know you just like you don't know her.
At
Bro.
all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We
Y'all
always
changing
learning.
every
We
day,
always
bro.
learning.
Y'all changing every day, dog.
And you the nigga could talk about, are you hungry?
Bro, she was
bitch.
hungry though, man. She was hungry.
Like I told you, bitch, she hungry for some love, nigga. Like goddamn it.
And you nigga talking about, are you hungry? You see that?
I think she was talking about Arby's, nigga. She didn't want no damn
No,
Arby's,
but
nigga.
Franz, I bet you used to like when she would tell you these things and you would come up with solutions, you would get mad that she wouldn't take on your advice and she was still complaining about the
Still
same
complaining
thing.
about the same thing.
Because she didn't want
Man,
your
I saw that
solution.
problem for y'all already.
Yeah, she didn't want your solutions.
Yeah,
wanted
man.
to
So
talk,
that,
bro.
I think that
Sometimes
was
you gotta let them
amazing,
talk,
bro.
bro.
Man. That was amazing. So now I feel like I might, now that it's on my conscience now, like it's front of mind. Like sometimes now when she go to talking, I might just shut up, put the phone on mute, and just let her
What
talk.
I'm gonna tell you to do? Listen, what I'm gonna tell you to do? This is how you do it. Let her talk the whole time. If there's a big ass break, you be like, "I'm free to talk," or "Do you want my you want my advice?" And then from there, she be like, "Yes, no." You feel me? No. Then you be like, "Oh, cool. Keep on talking, bro. I can half listen. I can do whatever." You know what I'm saying? But if she want advice, bro, you already know you're gonna have the solution. You know what I'm saying? You know you got the solution. So if you want advice, give her the advice.
And that's
but
my
ask her
natural
first before you
instinct.
give it.
So it's gonna be hard. I know naturally that's just where I go. So I have to just be conscious. I gotta work it out. But it was
You
beautiful.
have to understand. You have to understand that your solution to the problem might not be her solution or the route that she would want to take. Something that you think is an easy solution for her might not be that easy. So it's just kind of like being mindful of does she even want that advice or not.
And that's another thing too. I ain't gonna take it time, but I be thinking like some of her problems be feeling like that's some. You worried about that?
That little molehill, but you can jump on that.
But you can't downplay how she feels. You can't say it's the smallest thing. You have to figure it out. Like you got to try to work it out because you can't say just the smallest thing because to her, it's the biggest thing to her.
Yeah.
So you can't minimize how she feels. You know what I'm saying? You have to be like you have to be able to accept it and be able to communicate with it because just because you say, "Oh, it's just small," but to her it may be big. So you guys have to come to a resolution to where you could figure it out because make it your big problem too because it's hers.
Yeah.
Just to make her feel better. So you can't downplay the way she feels because you feel like it's a bigger thing. You could have probably expressed it in a different way, but you can't downplay it and say, "Oh, it's just small."
Yeah,
Bruh,
I hear y'all, man, but it took this long to finally be like even receptive to that kind of talk. So I just I'm gonna be working on that mute button on the phone. That way I don't interject, I don't jump in.
Yeah.
Just let and sometimes you know what I'm saying, her talking, you feel me, dog, she'll solve her own problem, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just by her just talking through the whole shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? She don't need you to jump in sometimes, bro.
Facts.
It's all just about knowing the person you're dealing with. Like, because for me, I want Cliff to tell me if I'm making a small situation bigger than what it is.
But
like, I want
you will also ask though. She'll be like, she'll say this shit and she'll be like, "Oh, am I doing this right? Was I too hard?" You know what I'm saying? She'll ask me questions and I'll be like, "Yeah, no." So, but before that, I'm just okay, all ears. All right, until you ask me a question, bro, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
Being a great listener is a huge part of being a great communicator. Whew.
Yes.
I don't think we talk too much about that though.
I think it's also a good part of being a huge part of being a leader too, dog. You gotta listen first.
Yeah.
You gotta know what everybody needs, man. And if you can't know what everybody needs, if you ain't listening.
Big Z.
The best advice I can give is for any issue or problem in your relationship, make sure you have a solution. Too many times people sweep things under the rug, or they have an argument and they just keep it moving the next day, act like the argument ain't never happened.
3 months down the line, I'm talking about this shit and that shit and that shit. We bringing all this shit together, we rolling the whole big ass ball.
If there's a problem, collectively come up with a solution. No matter how big or small you think the problem is, come up with a solution. Always.
I like that.
I'm charging y'all for this relationship advice.
But on that note, we're gonna do an open floor. How did y'all like the episode? You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna try to switch up the format somewhat. You know what I'm saying? I see this Chat GPT thing, you know what I'm saying? And I had to write a couple scripts. So I'm gonna let it do that thing and see if we can pop out some good ass episodes coming here. So, I think we're gonna be y'all cool with being on Instagram and shit?
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, whatever, because StreamYard got this new thing where they let you do reels and stuff like that easily off of the thing. So I might just be clipping up a lot of these and just throwing them on the Cowboys at Brunch channel. So I got to be sure that everybody is cool being on that and what y'all representing. You know what I'm saying? If y'all say something that y'all don't like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to let me know.
My job is very inclusive. So any gay conversations, please cut me out of those. Any race conversations, cut me out of those. So, you know, I love my corporate job. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm 10 toes down, dog. Run it.
All right. So I'm gonna start like clipping up shit, bro. I'm gonna try to do like a couple of reels a week, you know what I'm saying? 2 or 3. And then like the episodes, and I'm gonna try to clip up the episodes on YouTube. So we'll see how this thing goes, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get a presence, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if this shit start making money, you know what I'm saying? Like it's an even cut, bro. I don't really care about the money. I'm about to buy the LSC too, but
France ain't getting no.
Oh, what you mean, man? I need some of that. I'm present. I'm a regular. I'm a contributing member.
France present on the last day, brother. What the cutoff day, man? Like if you miss one more day, nigga, we gotta. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here, man.
But in his defense, Franz did tell y'all boys when you first
Football
came up
season,
with the time.
bro.
Franz was like, I don't know about that.
Listen, that's communication, bro. You let us know up front.
Because we started before football, and he was pretty consistent before football. Then he dwindled off.
Ain't no more football now, so we here.
How you like the XFL shit?
Oh, it's on? I haven't watched it.